This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast of movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. In this episode, the very glamorous Sarah Behl is joining me to talk about a couple of weird 90s movies that have a lot to do with high school. Grosse, Point Blank, and Hackers. Welcome!
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me.
I'm so happy to be here. I got ready for you, with you.
With me, yes. The funny thing is, we have been talking for a good 2.5 hours now without recording because we just got into some random chit chat and she needed to do her makeup and she looked fabulous. That's all I got to say.
I'll post a picture. It looks pretty horrifying.
From my point of view, I think it looks pretty good. Like, I think it's one of those, like, it's camera ready makeup, not like in-person makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real whack in real life. I wouldn't want to walk out in the street like this. I would definitely feel self-conscious.
Yeah, it's one of those looks that a lot of those makeup tutorials tell you to do, or you're just like, don't go in public like this. Just take a picture and wipe it off. You're fine.
It looks good on Instagram, but everywhere else, nightmare.
Well, lucky for you, we have nowhere to go but here. So,
well, it's Friday night. I'm chatting with my friend. I'm getting done like I would normally do.
Yes. I just sat here, drank a couple of drinks, watch you put on all your layers. It's working out pretty well.
Yeah, we're winning.
We are totally winning. And one of the reasons why we're really winning is because we got to watch a couple of pretty great movies that have a lot to do with high school. And as our listeners know, we went to high school together.
We did.
And I'm pretty sure we saw both of these movies together originally when they came out.
I don't know. I don't know if we saw Hackers together because I was not in the province at the time. But we definitely watched it later on together.
Yes,
we have watched this movie together for sure.
Yes, because we met when we were 16. That is correct. Yes. So yeah, this would have been a year before we met. But I think we saw Grosse Point Blank together when it first came out.
I believe so. I have vague memories. I do remember going to see it in theater when it came out, and the circumstances around that are all misty memories. So the likelihood is high that we went together.
Yeah. I don't know. I find like any movie that we watch that's like in the 90s, I'm like, I think I saw this with Sarah. Is my first thought.
I mean, like, I can remember the ones, like the definite ones that we like stood in line for, like on the Phantom Menace or something like that.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we saw that together. I think we saw some of the Star Trek movies together as well. Like,
we saw Insurrection together.
For sure, we saw that together. Yeah.
Nemesis, I actually didn't see in the theater because I was still angry about Insurrection.
Ooh,
so I remember that. That was a big deal. We saw The Matrix together.
We did see The Matrix. I definitely remember The Matrix. You know what? I think we saw some of the, not the sequels, but the first Austin Power movie together.
Yes, there is a very specific memory because I remember this. We had a sleepover. I remember this. And we did not sleep the whole night before. I think you passed out and our other friend passed out, but I was legitimately awake the whole time. And then we were supposed to go home, but instead our friend's mom took us to the movies because our plan was to go see a movie. And we went to go see Austin Powers, and like people fell asleep in the theater because we hadn't slept. And then I remember thinking it wasn't funny at all. But if you listen to the podcast episode where I talk about the movie, it's clearly a funny movie. So I think it was.
We were just in an altered state.
Yeah. And I specifically remember after that, I went home, I went to bed, and I slept for 15 hours because my mother, I remember when I finally woke up, my mother was just like, I checked on you several times with a mirror. I legitimately thought you were dead. And I was like, okay. So that is a very specific Austin Powers reference. So yes, for sure we saw that one together.
Yeah, I do. I have vague memories of that.
Yeah. We saw,
but we probably stayed up all night watching movies.
Oh yeah, there was a movie called, the only movie I remember us watching that night is something called The Fear, which had to do with like a wood doll, and it was like made from like a haunted tree or something, and I was just like, what is happening?
I don't remember that one. Maybe I was sleeping through that one too. But I remember watching one of the Children of the Corn with Mark Hamill in it.
I don't remember that one. I don't.
We watched weird movies. We stayed up all night watching weird ass movies.
Yeah, we did.
To stay up to go see a movie, pay to see it, and then I fell asleep in the theater.
The funny thing is, I remember staying up and like you and our friend have like passed out, and I'm watching this movie. I'm like, this movie's not funny. Like, can we leave? But then I didn't want to wake you guys up. And then the movie finished and everybody got up and left. And I went home and I was just like, I just saw the worst movie ever. Passed out for 15 hours. It's fine. Yes.
Oh.
This is what you call a good childhood. What are you doing?
I know. Nobody was asking us to clean anything. We had no responsibility. We had all the time and money to like do these silly things. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
It was a good time. Yeah. I mean, like, if somebody asked me to stay up all night now, it'd be like, what is wrong with you? Just go to sleep.
No, I'm not going to stay up watching bad movies so I can go to a movie theater and watch another movie. I wonder, do teenagers do that now? I don't. Well, they're not doing it right now in the pandemic, but I don't know. I don't know if they would do that now.
I don't know. I think if people are still doing sleepovers, like not right now, that's impossible because pandemic and stuff. Whatever. Yeah. But if you're like doing sleepovers, I think like teenagers, like they try to stay up all night, like for sure.
That was easily like, and that initiative was set like early. I have early like 3, 4, 5 grade years. Like that's the initiative. You try to stay up all night watching inappropriate. That's how I got to see Universal Soldier, Last of the Mohicans, Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, like all the movies I wasn't supposed to see. Hellraiser, every horror movie. That's how you saw them. You stayed up all night when the parents were sleeping and you watched those movies. And even though you were way under the Poltergeist,
yeah. The funny thing is, I was the opposite because I was a latchkey kid. Both my parents worked and stuff, and me and my brother would be home at least 2 to 3 hours before our parents actually got home. And so we would just like watch movies during that time period. And if the door opened, click, clack, unlock, be like, turn it off. And like you run away. Like that's how we got to watch all the movies that we weren't supposed to watch at whatever point in time, for sure. That may also explain how warped I am sometimes. It's fine. It's fine.
Your mom still walks in your room and you're both, turn it off.
You're just like, wait a second, I'm an adult. Leave it on.
Leave Shrill on. Yeah.
I actually haven't watched Shrill as yet. Is it good?
It is so good. It is so good. It was very emotional for me. It was but in the best possible way, and I enjoyed it immensely. And even the ending, like the grand conclusion, it leads to a potential movie later on, which I'm excited about. So yeah, all of it.
The 3rd season already?
Yes.
Amazing. Didn't it ever come out like a week ago?
Well, I might have binged it like in daytime hours because it was so good, and it was like, and honestly, I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes, and they're half hours, so like you can go through that really quickly, right?
Okay. I think I might have to get on that one because I've seen it pop up in a bunch of different places. And what is her name? But like, I know her from
Katie Bryant.
SNL. Yes, I know her from SNL, and I always thought she was hilarious, and they didn't use her in enough stuff. So
It's true.
I would probably love this show as soon as I started watching it. But
Yeah, it's just about like a woman and she's trying to learn how to advocate for herself because she's so used to like putting herself in a submissive role, but she advocates for herself in her job and then her love life and then like her even her friendships. And so it's like it's good. It's just about like positive growth and like yeah, I love it. I love that type of show.
that's good. Okay, maybe I need some of that in my life. So like when the pandemic's over, I'd be like, this is me taking back.
Yeah. This is how I need to grow in my world. Like, but she makes mistakes too. Like she's not perfect. Like she
Mhm.
definitely had like trips along the way and they even show that. And so it's all enjoyable. I loved it.
Yeah, that kind of thing doesn't just make for compelling television, but it makes for more likable characters in general because I find like especially like the 80s and the 90s where a lot of characters were infallible where like no they're perfect. You know, it's
Yeah.
the world around them that is broken and that's how you learn your lesson. Whereas like no, this actual character is fallible but they learn and grow from it is also
Yeah.
better.
Or they yeah, and they even acknowledge like their own struggles, right? Like, oh,
Mhm.
this is a barrier for me and I'm confronting it. Like whereas like that was often glazed over before. Like, no, we don't acknowledge barriers, we don't acknowledge like challenge, we don't acknowledge like inequity, but like no, like those exist
Mhm.
in the world. We can address that. Like it's not going to be uncomfortable for everyone. Like
Mhm.
we can live through this.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that bothered me about the show Girls.
Oh God,
I
yeah.
remember I remember really loving the first season of that show and I'm like I'm going to watch the shit out of this. Like it's going to be amazing. And after I think it's what 5 seasons when it finished, by the end of it I'm like I hate all of you. Every
I'm like
horrible thing that
these people
happens
are so
deserves.
self-involved. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't evolve, they don't
No.
change, they don't accept that they are not perfect beings. And I know it was essentially supposed to be able to like it's like 4 women living their life the best way possible. I'm like, you guys are shitty. Like
Yeah.
you're shitty people who think you don't have to apologize for your shitty behavior.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, it's just like I'm like 3 out of 4 of you are in shitty positions and you deserve it. That's what you
You
get.
put themselves there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's very hard to feel, yeah, sympathetic or compassionate towards somebody who's not even trying to be better or
Mm,
even on a growth trajectory, right? You're
yeah.
just like, oh, like goodbye. I'm so disconnected from this.
You're like, I'm over it. Thank you.
I'll just stick to my documentaries.
Definitely. Yes. I don't know. It's good to have a show like Shrill like that out there. I definitely have to give that a quick look. It's people know. I think I've said this before. I'm not a binger, so it's gonna take me a
Sometimes.
while to watch all of it. Yes, I'm very much. I grew up in the TV era. I've never gotten over the whole TV feel of things. You know, I want the episodes to sink in and ruminate and let me think about theories and ideas. What's going to happen next, you know? And like that's how I watch shows. Like I have a list of shows I go through and I watch one episode each. And I'm like, look, I've spent 6 hours watching TV shows, but they're all different, not just one thing. And I'm like, next week I'll do this again. And it's just how it goes. Like I absolutely love the shows that I know this frustrates a lot of people, but I absolutely love the shows that they're releasing like streaming online one a week. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
It
I'm
makes me
still
happy.
watching the Nevers on
I found the first episode so boring.
it was a little slow. It definitely was slow. Um the plot is a little like yeah, it needed an injection faster than we got. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm still in the fourth episode and it still hasn't revealed itself entirely, but I'm like, okay, slow reveal, slow reveal. Cool, cool.
That's the thing. Like, I don't mind a slow reveal, but that first episode, A, it's a bit longer than the episodes that follow. And B, by the end of that episode, I don't like anybody. I don't care about anybody. It's boring. Why am I going to spend more time on this? This is
because it was better than whatever in Bone, because or whatever that show was. Something in Bone. There was like some, I don't know, I just watched some other fantasy thing with like a gunslinger and a girl with magic light inside of her, and it was just like the most boring basic Netflix show. And I was like, guys, you had billions of dollars for this budget, clearly, and you didn't do something more interesting. Like,
it's really shocking when it happens. But I don't know what that other show is. I don't know. I
can't remember.
I just heard of, like, you know, it was a combination of ladies and X-Men and, you know, in the turn of the century. And I was just like, oh, it's going to be like 1602. This is going to be awesome. If you don't, 1602 is a comic series where the Marvel Universe happens in 1602. Just letting you guys know. Anyways, but I was just like, oh, it's getting like that kind of vibe from it. I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I watched the episode and I was just like, this is okay. I gave up.
This is bad.
I felt horrible about it because, like, the ideas are clearly there, but I think for me to get into a show, I have to at least like a character, right? Like, the first episode doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I have to be like, I like that guy. I want to see what happens to that guy. You know,
I'm like invested.
I'm invested. Yeah. Whereas this show, like, I saw it and it was just like, that's sure, I suppose. Like,
okay.
Whatever. You know, nothing drawing me to it. So I got over it very quickly. What can I say? So, like, I've definitely been watching stuff. It's just spaced out, no binging. But I think I'll just have to add Shrill to the list of.
Yeah, it's good. I recommend it.
Mm-hmm. That one, and the second season of Love, Death, and Robots is the other one I need to add. I need to.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet, but I will watch that. I love the first season so much.
I love the first season. It is so good. Like, there are episodes that are not as good as others, sure, but there are no bad episodes. Right.
They're all like so varied and different. Like, even some of them, I like some of the, I guess, like the animation style more. Like, there was one that was like a black and white primarily, but the person just kept dying over and over again. But I remember the visual component of it was so engaging and so memorable that it's like seared into my mind. That and the robot and the farming one, for some reason there was like a farming episode and they were being attacked.
Oh yes, yeah.
Both of them just had really compelling, like, I think, art, and that it was really engaging for me.
Mm-hmm. They're great. Like, they're just so good. I really love it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like I'm actually curious to see if they bring back any of the people they used in the first season, or maybe
the same animators.
Yeah, and see like what kind of stories they build based on their styles and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, because they could be continuing.
Yeah, you know, or even if it's just like something completely new, like all new people, all new art, all new stories, that would also be mind-blowing and amazing. So
yeah, that would be cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I am.
I'm down for that. It's also kind of emulates my favorite style of books right now, which is like books of short essays. So like everything that's like under the 10-minute threshold, I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. If I only have to subscribe for 10 minutes, yes, sign me up.
Yeah, that's like everybody's what's it called? Apparently I don't have it either because I can't.
Attention span?
Attention span, that's it. Yes. 10 minutes, we're out. Hopefully people listen to this podcast in 10-minute interval. Because some of our episodes are a little bit long, I know. But sometimes
these are people with fully functioning minds.
Yes. I hope, yes. You know what? My audience are fully functioning people, and they're amazing, and they're wonderful.
They're
Awesome.
doing great, and we wish them the best.
Yes. So speaking of our audience, they're here to listen to us talking about Grosse, Point Blank, and hackers.
Yes.
Maybe we should get on that a little bit.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
So, Grosse Point Blank came out in 1997, starring Joan, Cusack, and Minnie Driver.
And John Cusack.
Did I not say John Cusack?
Oh, I heard Joan.
Oh God, did I say Joan? But Joan
That's
Cusack
okay.
is also in there.
Joan is the best part of the movie.
She's hilarious. She's hilarious. The military jacket that she's wearing, and he makes reference to like start calling her Sergeant Pepper. I don't know why, but at that moment, I laughed very hard for no reason.
No, that's funny. Reason. That's super funny.
The funny thing is, I remember, like, I was sitting there watching the movie, I'm just like, I love that military jacket. Okay, Sergeant Pepper. Like,
yes.
I was just like, oh no. Oh no. What have I done? It's okay. I'm gonna be
No, it was very satisfying. Like that was a satisfying part of the movie. We're like, yeah, you have to call that out.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how weird it is for, like, I know they're professional actors and I know they know what they're doing, but at the same time, how weird is it for her to just call John Sir throughout the whole movie? Like,
oh, I'm sure she loved that. Like, I'm sure she did that intentionally. Like, I don't think it was written like that. I think she said it that way to make him feel uncomfortable. And I hope she did that too, because that, how satisfying would that be? Just to like put him in his place like that.
It actually does make it just a little bit better. Like it really does.
I like to think that, like, no, this is like her calling the shots. And you're like, you may have done me this solid by getting me this part in your picture, but
but sir, we're gonna act it this way, sir. Please make sure you do your job well, sir.
And she even has like some of the emotion, like the biggest emotional scenes of the movie. Like, I don't even think Minnie Driver gets to act as big as she acts. And then he is like a self-professed, like, he doesn't directly say autistic, but he kind of admits it at some point that he has like inability to perceive emotion and he has like no moral, like, he's kind of a psychopath.
Well, yeah, because he mentions he fit a certain psychological profile to
right.
So yeah,
and he can't distinguish between right and wrong, essentially.
Yeah. So as soon as he says that, you're just like, oh, there are things that are definitely wrong with you. Like I know there has to be something wrong with you for you to just be okay with killing people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is another level of, you know.
Inability to read a situation. But at the same time, he totally goes to the reunion and is able to read and navigate many relationships, including with his bully. He confronts a bully and like was like, I don't know. So is that also just a convenient story for him to spin? And he's used to perpetually lying.
I think he is used to perpetually lying. But B, throughout that whole sequence, anytime Minnie Driver is around him, he's just like, we should go. I want to go. like, it's clear that it's like draining for him.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's not just like an annoyance, but it's like physically, like he's like, I can't do this. I'm gonna do that. But then somebody else comes in and he's like, hey, yeah, I remember.
I'm engaging with you. Yeah.
So I think it might be like, I didn't think that scene was like out of character because they included the part where he was like obviously like tired.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna kill another guy.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, I'm trying not to kill people, but I'm thinking about it. So maybe
I'm killing so many people.
He does end up killing quite a few people.
Yeah.
In this movie. Well, because
he makes his best friend even like help him burn one of the bodies. Like that's not traumatizing.
I'm sorry, that's one of my notes. I'm like, okay, you haven't seen this man for 10 years, and he's like, help me.
Okay, I'll help you burn a body now.
Right? Yeah. Right? This is some amazing friendship stuff.
That's not normal. No. I'm sorry, Tracy. If you came to me after 10 years, I would not help you burn a body.
But if I came to you like 10 minutes from now, you'd be okay with it?
What are we doing? I got my makeup on.
Nobody will recognize you. It's fine. It's fine. But you'd have to wait for me to get my makeup on. So that might take a little while.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. But I must admit, I watched this movie and I remember liking it, but I thoroughly enjoyed this rewatch.
I really like the soundtrack. The soundtrack is what made it for me. Like, I think if the soundtrack had not been as good as it was, I would have I don't know, not been so taken by it. Like, I think the music score has a lot of nostalgia for me, and it's songs that I liked and songs I would have listened to at the time. And so I think that's what really drew me in, was like, I love this song. And you're like, oh, I'm going to totally watch what's happening now. And I don't know, it's kind of reminiscent of his earlier movies that were John Hughesy kind of films with the soundtrack. I don't know, if it kind of had a similar vibe. It has that crossover vibe from teenhood, adolescent love story to fully grown, actualized human with additional elements. So I don't know, it's a fun transitory film.
I just want to say we have had the exact same thought about this movie, because watching this movie and listening to the music, I'm like, all of these songs are from John Hughes movies. Okay, this automatically creates a nostalgia, which I think it's supposed to, because it's a high school reunion. So it's automatic, and it takes place in the 90s. So, and it's 10 years later. So it would have been in the 80s. So that would have been the music he was listening to when he was that age. And so, but one of the things that I pictured was, so one of his first roles, him and Joan Cusack's first roles, was in
Sweet 16? 16 Candles. Yes.
And I was just like, oh, he's the dude from 16 Candles, and she's the chick because she had
a neck brace
and a neck brace. And I'm like, oh, so
for sure.
This is they graduated 3 years later and they were on a different level. And 10 years after that, this comes out. Boom.
Makes sense.
Full circle.
It is funny how it reads that way, but it totally feels that way. As the viewer, you're like, oh, I've been trained for years to understand these things in these ways, and now I'm totally interpreting them as that.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if a person who did not grow up on John Hughes movies or has not watched John Hughes movies, if that would translate in that nostalgic way, or would they just think it's fun music,
Yeah. Or or even have the same emotional connection to these songs. I'm pretty sure that's why I don't have the same memory for more modern movies. It's because I don't have that emotional connection to the music in movies. Even when it's pop culture, it's but hey, Smash Mouth comes on and I'm like, somebody what?
Yeah. Shrek pops into your head, having a time. It's just fine. Yeah.
The world. I ate the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, so this makes me think about the idea of nostalgia, where this did not work on generations. Maybe our parents it worked on, but never anybody before that, because before that there was no way to really replicate nostalgia. There was no, you couldn't record things weren't on the radio all the time, things just kept getting changed and updated. It wasn't a repetition of things before, whereas like so much of our life is dependent on nostalgia now. Like if you think about like advertising and film and like just general media, it is all based on nostalgia, and that's how they make their money, that's how they draw people in.
Oh yeah.
This movie definitely feeds on that. Like it feeds on it like a beast.
Oh, for sure. Like even like I was annoyed at myself watching this movie because like as a modern viewer of a lot of like media, I can identify what's manipulating me, right? Like I know what's pulling my heartstrings, and I was annoyed that like I'm like, oh, you're drawing me in with this freaking song, and I'm like, I can't even help myself. I don't want to be so compelled by an annoying love story of a psychopath. I technically shouldn't even like this movie as a feminist, but here I am, like head over heels because you played that Violent Femme song, and I'm here for it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like I'm hating myself. I'm a bad feminist for liking this movie, but I love this movie.
Yeah. It happens to me all the time. Like I catch myself enjoying something. I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
Like, why am I so compelled by these two white dudes talking to each other? I shouldn't even fucking care. But I love you, Dan Aykroyd and John Cusack. What the hell?
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the movie is about this guy who's been disconnected and disappeared for 10 years, sure. But it's also about this relationship between him and his high school girlfriend he hasn't seen. But his high school girlfriend doesn't seem to have evolved or changed, not just from high school, but in her current, like in the sequence of the film either. And you're just like, sure, she's cute, sure, she's fun, but she's not doing anything.
Yeah, she really is like the lackluster, which is annoying because I love Minnie Driver, and I think that Minnie Driver just suffers from poor writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like acting was not her problem. Like it was just the bad writing and bad circumstance. And she should be able to like pull off a little bit more in this movie than she does. But like, yeah, I'm very annoyed as that as well. And I'm like, I want to see better for you. I want you to be like a fully formed person. I want you to have like character traits that are like known to like at the end of the movie, what do we know about her aside from that she's good at partner yoga? Like
yeah. Well,
and gave up her career for this guy.
Yeah, like she still works at a radio station and she lives with her parents because her apartment burned down.
Yes.
But her bedroom is exactly the same as it was in high school. So she hasn't gone far from that either, which is also very weird.
And still living, at home with her parents.
And that's literally it. Like you have no idea what she's actually. No wait. She got married. Didn't she get married?
Did she? I don't remember that part.
I think
we don't even really know her friends because like she goes to talk at the reunion and like we don't even see that part. Like that part's never on camera. It's like Minnie Driver catching up with her friends, right? It's just like
mm-hmm. Yeah, because you end up following him around. You don't even see like who she's talking to. She just says,
"Yeah,
I want to talk to these people.
I want to say goodbye to these people first." Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like she's really second straight. Like this. I think it's funny that this movie is described as a romantic comedy. Well, like what a romantic comedy between Aykroyd and Cusack because like they get all the screen time together. Like. Is this a homoerotic film and I didn't realize? Like,
it could be. I mean, with all
because it's really not between Minnie Driver and John Cusack.
I'm sorry, with all that gun talk and stuff, and getting holes into each other,
right?
There's a whole subtext in there for sure. For sure,
it wasn't the romantic comedy we thought it was going to be.
Oh my god, yeah. Like I don't even know. I think the whole like one of the reasons why they get away with not talking much about their backstories that they're like, we don't have to talk about it because their backstory happened 10 years ago when we're not doing flashbacks. We're just going to be like, oh, he just walks into her booth in the radio station. They make out and we're going to accept it because it's a love that was never, it never had a conclusion, you know? So they're still like in the middle of it.
Tracy, honestly, if somebody from 10 years ago walked into your life right now, would your first impulse be to kiss them passionately?
No, would not.
I also similarly share as a woman that I have no such impulse for any such person in the entire world. So this is very rare. But what if this situation would happen?
Okay, but what if it was a boyfriend that you had a very good relationship for, and this guy, he just disappeared?
Well, like, goodbye. Like, it's 10 years. I've moved on. Like, I hope I wouldn't be waiting around for Mr. 10 years ago.
Well, according to this movie, nobody in that town moved on. Nobody in high school moved on. It was 10 years ago. Like, even with the whole high school bully thing.
Yeah, it's like, true.
Yeah, he's going to be a dick, but that was also 10 years ago. Why do you want to start a fight? Like, it just doesn't.
There was no evolution for these people. It was, like, very stagnant.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think after 10 years, you would have had enough time to, you know, absorb things and move on. Can we do this? I mean, I would like to believe.
Are we too ambitious?
Maybe. Like, I would like to believe that I have moved on from all of those childish things from high school.
Yeah, I don't identify with any of my high school experiences in my present day life.
Exactly. I mean, except for our friendship, I have left all of that behind. Like, all of that is just gone.
Like, we're not doing high school antics anymore. Like, we're not living out our high school lives. Like,
no,
we have definitely evolved from that point. I'm happy to say.
Yeah, I know there are times where you can't help but, you know, quote unquote regress when you like are in a certain situation or you are with certain people. But I doubt I'm regressing that far is all I want to say. Like, I think maybe maybe 5 years, you know, maybe I might regress to the point where I'm just like, oh, but, you know, I am the submissive in this relationship, but I don't think I'm going to regress to actually acting like a child.
I do have to say there was like a brief moment in like December where I came to visit you when you were staying with your mother, and it felt very like high school for me that we were like both out and we weren't supposed to be out, but we were walking the neighborhood. I was like, oh, this feels like our illicit, like,
yeah,
this would have been shenanigans if we were in high school. Like,
that's true, because it was like the middle of the night, it was freezing outside, but we're not allowed to gather, and so we're like,
but we were,
yeah, but all we did was go outside. For a walk.
I know, like, it shouldn't feel so illicit, but for some reason it just like it brought up those memories of
yeah. Look, when you grow up where we did, you know, there are very few things to keep your mind active. Okay, we did some pretty tame, very boring things, but some scandalous things.
I mean, like late night walks. It was like this was not scandal. This is not the height of scandal. Like, we would go walking in our suburb late at night.
Ooh, scandalous.
Oh, you're out after 8 o'clock.
You're like, but it's dark outside. You can't go out there.
It's a Sunday night. Disney is long over.
Oh my God, it's so true. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because honestly, like, I was just like, oh, it is like we're in high school again. This is great.
That was kind of funny, but I think it was more the circumstance of like Like, yeah, that whole illicitness, like, oh, we were gonna get in trouble, like, because you don't feel like that on a normal basis, right? Like, you
Yeah.
just live your life, and you're like, oh, nobody cares what I'm doing, like, nobody's even watching me.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so true. Yeah. But we don't live in that society anymore. We live in the now. That was the then. Hopefully we'll get back to the then-ish for the future.
We'll see.
I
We
don't
will see.
I don't even know how to describe how our society will function in the future. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I already told Tracy the story that I've been consistently only shaving one of my legs for the last several months and leaving the other one untouched and not noticing until this week. So our minds are not functioning as they once were.
They are not. And I love that the weather is getting warmer, but it makes me angry because that means I have to do more things to make myself presentable. So it's upsetting.
Well, if they're social distancing, they shouldn't notice any of those things anyways. 6 feet, sir.
Is this TMI? I don't know if this is TMI or not.
No. My nose hairs are the perfect length, thank you.
This is what my listeners are here for. It's fine. Yes. But yeah, talking about regression, I mean, they fully did that.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I forgot how many faces were in this movie.
Like famous people?
Yeah, like not just Dan Aykroyd, but like there's Jeremy Piven. There's also another Cusack. There's Anne Cusack is also in it. She's the when they go to dinner and like the
Nancy
drunk friend, sits down. So yeah, this movie is fully a family affair. Jenna Elfman shows up in there, Alan Arkin, Hank Azaria.
Oh yeah, Jenna Elfman. I always confuse her with Deborah Messing for some reason. Because they probably had shows around the same time.
They did have shows around the same time. That is very true. Because she was what? Dharma and Greg?
She was Dharma and Greg.
Yes. And Will and Grace. Yeah, those were on at the same time. This is like my favorite Jenna Elfman role was, of course, Can't Hardly Wait, which we talked about a long time ago. She was like the angel randomly in there. It was great. But it was fun seeing her face. I was just like, Jenna Elfman is in this?
And she's the one rocking the weird like head neck brace thing.
Yeah.
So funny. It is such a funny gag. Like, I don't know who. I hope Joan Cusack was the influence for that joke because it was funny to see it again, and I still laughed even though I knew it was coming.
I absolutely agree. I loved it. I loved all of it. And the other face I recognized in there was Michael Cudlitz. So he was the bully.
Oh right.
And he was in. I watched several years of The Walking Dead. And then he was a part of The Walking Dead. So as soon as I saw him face, I'm like, it's the guy from The Walking Dead. And I had to look.
He was all buffed out in Walking Dead, though.
He is, yeah. In this, he looks so young and so thin.
I know, right? I did a double take, so I was like, yes, it is.
So I loved it. I love seeing all of these people. I was just shocked how many people were in there. I was just like, oh. But I think it's also one of those things, like, until a person is like properly famous, you don't notice them in anything, and then you look back at stuff, and then all of a sudden, you're just like, there they are, there they are, there they are.
And this Billy Crystal was like that for me for like the longest time, and he was like in every children's fantasy, everything. Like,
really?
Wasn't he? Isn't he in a couple? I don't know. Isn't he in Princess Bride?
He is in Princess Bride. That's literally the only one I remember.
In Spinal Tap. He's like the mime in Spinal Tap. Mime is money.
Okay. I am going to admit something.
Go revisit some Billy Crystal and you'll be like, damn, you heard everything.
I'm going to admit something to you. I have never watched all of This is Spinal Tap.
Ah!
I said it. I said it. And
is it not on your shelf, Tracy?
It is not. And it's not one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to watch it or have no interest in it. It's never been that. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I've seen parts of it. People make lots of reference to it, so I know what it is, like turning the volume up to 11 and getting lost backstage and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get references to it. It's fine. But it's like, it is not an easily accessed movie, but it's also not a movie that is like, I have to watch this movie.
This is a mandatory. It's just so funny. But I do have to recommend, if you're not going to watch This is Spinal Tap, then watch this other documentary based on a real Toronto rock band like Spinal Tap called Anvil. And they happen to be some neighbors of mine. And they've lived the same life trajectory as This is Spinal Tap. And it is just, I don't know, it's so fulfilling. You're just like, yeah, these are real people. They're not even joking. Like, they're really doing this. It was so, even I made my mom watch it, and even she was crying at the end of it. She loved it.
Anvil. Okay, I have to look that one up. I'll have to look that one up.
And it's true. It is like, and it is not a parody band of like, but it is a true to life, like, hard rock band, like what This is Spinal Tap is representing. Like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, but like, unironically.
Yeah. Like, I just want to be clear. It's not that I'm never going to watch This is Spinal Tap. That is not the thing. I just haven't gotten around to watching the whole thing. Okay, that's just it. Like I said, I've seen many pieces of it. Like, honestly, it is very likely that I might sit down finally, watch the movie from beginning to end, and realize I have watched this whole movie just not in order.
I've seen this before. Yes. Yeah. I know you have. I feel it in my bones. You have seen this movie. You've probably watched it with me. Because I love it so much.
That is an absolute possibility. I don't know.
Sometimes it's just so silly.
Yeah, because there are some times where, like, I watch a movie and it's not that it's bad and it's not that it's no good or anything, but like maybe I watch too many movies in a row, or like it's just one of those things that just kind of get lost in the amount,
or doesn't strike you in that moment. Yeah,
yeah. And it just gets pushed out. I'm just like, it's gone now. There you go. But 3 seconds in the movie, I'm like, I've seen this. What are you talking about?
Oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, I could quote this whole movie to you. My favorite part of that movie, because I know you're never going to talk about it again, is the ending credits. Just one of them just throws out, like, if I wasn't doing this, like, I'd have a haberdashery. I just love that idea. Like, you like try to like develop this rock god ethos this entire time, and you just throw it all away for like haberdashery.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna make you look good. Okay, we got hats, we got some jackets.
You want a hat? Do you like a chapeau, sir? And it's just so ridiculous. It's just so funny.
I swear, at some point in time, I just want in regular conversation just to be able to use the word haberdashery. Just the other word I want to insert in conversation at some point in time, just nonchalantly. I know it's going to sound weird, but the word susurrus, I don't understand why, but the first time I read that word, I was just like, Kurt Vonnegut, you've made my life. This is a word I have to use at some point. I've never been able to do it. And
nice.
One of these days. Also, if you don't know, susurrus the definition is the distinct sound of people whispering.
Ooh, like some ASMR shit.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, but like the definition is so specific. It's like, no, you can't understand what they're saying, because if you can understand what they're saying, it's not a susurrus, right?
Ooh.
So it's just like, it's like
undefinable whispering.
Yeah, that kind of thing, So it's like it's the distinct sound of people whispering. Like I'm just like that is just such a good word. Like
it's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. I like a good word every once in a while. What can I say?
Yes. I play this like a word game online for fun, and I was very proud to be able to use some like dinosaur references. I was like, yeah, it's like an 8-letter word. Suck it.
May I ask?
Stegodons. No.
Yes. Okay. I was gonna ask you for a sample word. Thank you. Thank you for providing.
All the times the ROM was worth
it. I read all of those plaques, man. They're there.
Every single one. I've been to the Terrell Museum more than once.
Love it. Yes. Any dinosaur references are really good.
Yeah. We have on our front lawn like a small collection of dinosaur toys like on the front lawn, and like we're known in the neighborhood now as like the supplier of dinosaur toys. But then I was really just like my heart like leapt when I learned that potentially there was a recent discovery that Tyrannosaurus Rex hunted in packs. And sure enough, on our front lawn is a pack of Tyrannosaurus Rex because it's the most popular dinosaur toy. And I was like, this is it. This is accurate. This is historically accurate representation of dinosaurs.
That is amazing.
I know.
Yes.
How terrifying, though. Can you imagine being hunted by a pack of Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I mean, I think it would be scary, but if they're covered in feathers like people say they are, I'm less scary.
Giant chickens.
Exactly. And I might laugh at their short arms a little bit before they tear me apart. It's fine.
Yeah. You would die in joy.
Yeah, I'd be like, look at your tiny arms. No, it's great.
Now I'm dead. It's better than going on the toilet.
That's true. Oh my god. Having like an aneurysm from pushing too hard.
Or no, like in Jurassic Park, that one guy that gets eaten off the toilet.
Oh yeah, that's also bad. Yes. I love that. I'm like, no, this can plausibly happen. No, getting eaten by a dinosaur on the toilet is what I was talking about. It's fine.
I thought that dinosaur reference was given. My bad. I apologize for making that assumption. I brought that into the space.
I don't know why my brain didn't go that way in the first. I think it's stupid that I didn't, but also like, oh, he was a lawyer. He deserves it.
I forgive you. There have been a lot of dinosaur movies since then.
There have been. Wait, has there been? Haven't they all been Jurassic Park movies?
Well, the Jurassic World movies, yeah.
It's the same universe, let's call it.
Was there other Jurassic movies or other dinosaur movies? I guess the King Kongs don't count. Or
wait, does Godzilla count?
I would categorize that as a dinosaur movie.
Yeah, because in the most recent, not the most recent because it's Kong versus Godzilla is the most recent, but in like the first of the newer Godzilla movies, they were talking about the dinosaur age may have been like a war between dinosaurs and that's what killed them out. And Godzilla was the last one left. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Thanks, Matthew Broderick.
I wasn't talking about that one.
I know. I just thought it was funny to mention Ferris.
Yeah. Again, I wanted to apologize to all my listeners. The last episode, I did a lot of yelling about that Godzilla movie. I am sorry. I am so sorry. We can move past it. It's okay.
People forgive you. They forgive you. They accept you.
God, I hope so. Yeah. So Grosse Point Blank. Mm-hmm.
Dinosaurs, yes.
Yes. So I mean, like, what is your overall take of this movie?
I don't know, like, yeah, it was, I don't know. It was one of those things that I was skeptic to rewatch because I remember having fond memories of it, but I feel like I've grown as a viewer of film, and I have developed, and I'm looking for new criteria, but it sucked me in, and I was here for it, and I wanted to see all of it. Even at the end, like, I don't feel like Minnie Driver's character gets full, just like, she doesn't get the ending that she deserves, but I'm still satisfied by it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy with that. She gave up her career to leave with this psychotic dude. Okay. Like, I think she's going to be happy.
Yeah, because he was like, let's just take off. Let's just go do stuff. And she's like, okay. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But then at the end of the movie, when there's a chance that that's not going to happen because she finds out what he actually does, and
Yeah.
like, oh no, they're not going to have their happy ending, quote unquote. But when you think about it logically, you're just like, of course she shouldn't go. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Her dad is still in jeopardy. Somebody's trying to kill her father. She just upped and left him.
Yeah. Like, I understand that he killed the person sent to kill him, but there's probably more people out there
Right?
gonna come
Obviously,
back.
he's on somebody's radar. Like, they should be sticking close by or
Yeah.
brought him with him.
Just something. Well, there is a chance he's just in the trunk and they're sneaking him out of the city.
That's true. We don't know that.
We don't know. So,
But yeah, it's like one of those things, like, yeah, I can't help, but I don't know. It's for whatever reason, I'm like, I'm drawn in and I'm satisfied, and it's like a very fulfilling experience for me to watch this movie, even though my brain is telling me, you know better than this, don't fall for this bullshit. Like, it's
yeah. No,
but I can't help despite that all, I still really enjoy this movie.
like, even at the end, one of my notes is that, like, Minnie Driver's character is Debbie. I find she's the only person in the movie who has the correct reaction to finding out he is a murderer for a living.
Yeah.
Jeremy Piven was like, yes, I'll help you roll up things.
Oh yeah, he's morally ambiguous.
Yeah. But she's just like, what the shit? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. But I also started taking notes, kind of defending him at the same time. And I was just like, why are you doing this? Yeah, well,
yes. Why are we defending his behavior?
I don't know. I don't
or
know.
Why are we falling prey to it too? Because it's like, I know that I shouldn't be persuaded or dissuaded by this person, and yet I'm like, I'm here for you. I'm watching your movie. I'm on your side. I'm pitting you against John Cusack, who I freaking love as a blues brother. Like,
sorry, Dan Aykroyd as a
blues brother. Yes.
Yeah, because my whole thing is, like, when she's yelling at him and she's just like, I'm gonna leave, you lied to me, this was supposed to be a joke, blah blah blah. And I was just like, I have notes saying here, like, but he didn't lie to you, he told you everything, you can't hold that against him, what's wrong with you? And then I'm sitting there thinking, he's a murderer. What? Like, why are you okay with this?
That's not okay. That shouldn't be okay.
It should never be okay.
Yeah. And yet here we are excusing it.
Yeah. I think it's also one of those things is where you're just like, oh no, it's a fictional world.
Yeah.
And this is just about character development and, emotional connections.
Yeah. It's almost like a situational comedy write-off, right? You're like, oh no, this is a comedy of circumstance. Like, he doesn't want to be a bad guy, and yet he is. And
yeah, he can't help it. That's just who he is.
It's his world. He was raised to be this way. Yeah. His childhood home is a gas station now.
Oh my God. At least one thing I have to say about the scene is at least he saved the kid running out of that thing.
I know.
He could have just left that kid there.
Very redemptible. I did love, like, what was that song that was playing? It was just It's like some AC/DC song. It was just like this charging song that like it was so funny, that scene when it was interspersed with like the guy's inner what he's hearing in his headphones and playing the video game versus the giant shootout. I love that scene. It's so funny.
I love it because like watching that scene, the headphones he has in would never keep out that noise.
Never. He would have heard that immediately. Yes.
It's not like now where you have like giant ear headphones that are noise canceling.
Noise canceling. Yeah.
You know, as I'm describing the headphones that I'm wearing right now, that can legitimately get rid of that sound. Like there's no like the little styrofoam things that are just like on top of your ears.
We could classify those as like air flight quality earphones.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Yes.
Somebody breathes next to you and you're just like, shh, be quiet.
Oh, it's so jarring.
Yeah.
We're such audiophiles.
I know, we really are.
We're so snobs.
Yeah. I like to hear things well. Thank you very much.
I do too. I'm with you. My number one pet peeve is when I'm in a Zoom meeting and other people don't have like a headset on, because I'm like, are you aware how terrible your audio is right now? Like this is a disservice to us all.
Yeah. And then they start doing the weird leaning in thing and the leaning out and the is this better?
And then the echo and the echo. Yeah. Like, come on. Yeah. We are 15 months in this pandemic and you've not figured out your audio quality yet?
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Also, I have recommendations about your background. Like
I gotta admit, I cannot complain about any of his background because my backgrounds are not that great. So I don't use fake backgrounds. It depends where I am. It's either a blank wall or a bookshelf. That's what you get. That's what we're sticking with.
I have nothing but fake backgrounds, and I was happy to admit on Star Wars Day, I had more than 20 Star Wars themed backgrounds.
That's amazing.
And then when I picked like the simplest, most basic, like Millennium Falcon interior, and everybody in my team was like, "What is that?"
Quit your job right now. Just be done with it.
Guys, I could have picked Kashyyyk or like something more obscure. Like, do you know what like Snoke's interior looks like? I do. Why don't you?
All I did on that day was I took a shower and put on a clean shirt, and it was a Star Wars shirt.
That's beautiful.
On the front, and nobody else in my meeting had any Star Wars things, and I was.
Aww.
It's fine. It's okay. So now I officially have 3 Star Wars t-shirts. One's Darth Vader. The other one is Rebellion. It has Rebellion written across the top, full thing of stars, and at the bottom it's like a full size like X-Wing thing going on. It's beautiful. I really like that shirt. And my other one looks like a 70s like band t-shirt, and it's like Star Wars 1977. So those are my Star Wars shirts. I kind of love them.
Those are cool. I got this really cool bag. It's like I don't know if you can see it, but it's like it's Darth Vader, but he's made up of tiny instruments because it's from a live orchestral show of Star Wars music.
Nice. I love it. It was
a good show.
That is another nerd level that I have not been able to participate in, because I have wanted to go to all of those like orchestra things, because they did one with like Indiana Jones, they did Star Wars. Which one was one of the last ones they did? And I was like, I need to see that, and I couldn't get tickets to, and I was so mad. What movie was it? I don't know. I know for sure they've done like Harry Potter. Nobody cares about that, and they've done like.
I've gone to Star Wars ones before too, which are fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, I've when this is all over.
Or Star Trek too. Like they do like because because it's just great music, right? Like,
great music. Yeah.
Oh my God, can I tell you? I've just discovered the Star Trek original animated episodes. I did not know about those until now.
You never saw those?
I've never seen them. And
they're
I'm now like,
terrible, but they're fascinating.
No, there's more tribbles, more trouble. Like, is there not a more applicable motto for our time? Like, come on. Like, oh, so good.
So good, yeah. I must admit, I haven't watched them in a very, very.
It's got all the original voice actors. You have to rewatch.
It does not have all the original. That's one thing. It does not have all the original voices. There's somebody in the show who is not the original voice actor.
Nimoy, Shatner, Sulu, like Takei, like a lot of them are there. Gene Roddenberry's wife is the nurse.
She's great.
Oh my God. And the computers, multiple computers.
You know, one thing I found out about her, so like she died during Voyager. And apparently one thing that she did, so she had been doing the voice of the computer and stuff from TNG on.
Yeah.
And one of the things she did, even she was dying, was actually record like a library of stuff for like the computer and stuff. So they could just keep using it for like ever.
That's awesome.
And when I found out about that, I was just like, you're not crying about this. What are you talking? This is not something you cry about. That is crazy.
This is a computer voice. There's why they're tears.
I know. So like all of the movies since, and well, not in the most recent shows, unfortunately, but they just used her voice and like all of her recordings and stuff. And I think it's beautiful for the continuity and stuff like that.
No, I think that's so cool. And it was cool in the animated series to see her voice as well, because like at one point she's representing like an alien spaceship, but it's a semi-robotic voice, but it kind of sounds like Loxana Troy. And you're like, ooh, like it's the intersection of your acting work. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, I love it. That's good. Star Trek Talk.
Star Trek! Thank you for listening to Tracy's Star Trek podcast.
I have to stop making such like a direct reference to Star Trek. Like, hey, guess what? We did the thing. No, I gotta not do that. Also, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can hold this in long enough, but I cannot wait till I get to Star Trek. Like, I can't wait till I get there to talk about.
The movies? To talk about the
it's the movies. It's gonna be so good. I
just finished Picard, so I'm ready to talk to you about it, but we can save that for later.
We'll save it for later. I just want to say one thing. I know I'm a giant dork when sometimes when I'm going to bed at night and trying to sleep, I think about episodes that are coming up. I'm like, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this. Ooh, I hope this comes up in our conversation. Oh, I got to do this. It's really weird. But yeah, it's fine.
You're allowed. We forgive you.
I'm allowed. Like, I fully have like anecdotes I know I'm gonna say for like certain episodes of things. So like, it's happening. Yeah, my next very well-known anecdote is for Mallrats. Oh, beautiful one. Funny here. But yes. Anyways, we keep rambling. Sorry.
So what are we talking about again?
Yeah. Wait, am I rambling? No. If people have been listening to this since the beginning, they know exactly what's happening. It's okay.
They signed up for this.
Yes.
They're prepared.
Yes. One of my last notes for the movie is yes, he saved your father, but he still just violently killed a bunch of people. I think I think this just goes back to the how did she run away with him randomly conversation, because like her whole thing is she sees him kill one person and was like, oh my god,
I'm fine with this. Yeah,
but then he just killed a whole house full of people and she's just like, I love you.
Okay. Oh, Dad, you good? Bye.
Yeah. I mean, he opens the door and like is covered in a lot more blood and stuff, and you're just like, all right, well, let this happen. Sure thing.
I was like, I was giving this movie every excuse along the way too. I was just like, the moment Nancy came along and had that tiny little conversation with Minnie Driver, I was like, this movie just passed the Bechdel test. Like, I was like giving it every favor, like it wasn't a problem. And like this movie is problematic. Like, I'm not trying to like glaze it over, but like, yeah, no, she shouldn't have fucking run away with him in the end. Like, that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
She definitely should have like been like, nope, this isn't acceptable. You need to go to therapy. You need to stop being a mass murderer. Yeah. Come talk to me then.
Well, honestly, he was trying to go to therapy.
Oh yeah, then he fired his therapist.
Yeah, because he's like, oh no, I found Debbie, so I don't need therapy anymore.
I do love those moments with this therapist though, when you could see he's just like he's justifying whatever he wants in his mind. And his like therapist is calling him out on it. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do this anyways. I'm just gonna follow my dreams, or like whatever justification he had.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is happening to me. I'm not controlling it. Like,
you're like, but you are controlling it. You could just not do the thing.
You're not listening to your therapist, dude. Like,
he already said he doesn't want to be your therapist after he found out you kill people for him because he's scared of you. He keeps showing up. He keeps giving you advice, and you keep saying no. There's a problem. This is not how this is supposed to work.
That actor is hilarious, beyond hilarious. So, like,
Alan
honestly,
Arkin is so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so funny. He's just the best.
When he showed up, I was just like, "What? Why is he?"
Yes,
I
forgot you were here.
I love the part where he's calling to fire him, and he's like in a session, and he's like banging on like the answer machine. That reminds me, we need to talk about the obsolete technology in this movie.
Oh yes.
There's the part
the cell phones. Cell phones.
Oh my god, the cell phones alone are brutal. But one of the things that gets me is the part where he gets a fax in his car. And first of all, I was like, wait, what? And who gets faxes?
Also, the part where Joan Cusack is like destroying the office and she's like pouring gasoline on everything. I was like, those computers were really expensive at the time. Don't do that. I was like, aghast because I was like, no.
I mean, based on the amount of cash he left for her, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, she obviously did well.
Yes.
But still, it was kind of shocking to see. They're like, you're just going to burn that computer?
Right? Like, I know, like, you can get a computer as little as $200, depending what you want to do. Like, it's usually like a netbook or something, right? That's like $200. But you can get, like, a top-end computer is maybe, like, $3,000, right? If you get the things in it. But like back then, like a basic computer that has like 1/10 of the speed and 1/8 of the memory, like back then was like $10,000. Like,
yeah. So that was shocking to see her destroying that property. It was like, oh, like that's the reaction I had. I was like,
what are you doing?
Oh.
No, wait, no, it's the 90s. No, it would be like $5,000. Like a basic computer is like $5,000.
Like even like a DVD player at the time. Well, that would have been later 80s or later 90s. Like a basic DVD was still like $500 to $1,000.
Yeah, they were expensive. Oh my god. And just like buying an actual DVD was like $50-$60 to buy a DVD. You're just like, this is a lot of money. I mean, I honestly started my collection at the point where like the prices were declining quite steeply.
Yeah.
You could easily get like good movies for $20 or less.
HMV was going out of business.
This was that was like 2 years ago, 5 years ago.
5
6 years ago. Oh God, now I keep thinking
It's
about it.
been
It's been a
going out of
while.
business for a long time.
Yeah.
It was like a slow decline. It was like,
Yeah. You're like 1 or 2 stores close. You're like, it's fine. And then you realize they're having a little bit too many sales. And then you're just like, what's happening? Why does the store seem empty? And then one day
do you no longer carry new product?
Oh my God. Yeah, they were having crazy sales. Like it's like 12 DVDs for $20. And you're just like,
Okay.
Thank you. Like, what do you
I'm
do with
taking
that?
all of these.
Yeah. I'm just like, what is it? I'm just like, I don't know. I just want like this and picked it up. Walking
There's a
away
whole
with that
row
one.
of the new metal section.
Good. Yeah.
A lot of Papa Roach.
I must admit, I do miss, like, I like DVDs and everything, but one thing I really liked collecting were CDs because, like, you got a lot of really nice artwork. Like, they stopped putting in, like, lyrics and stuff, which used to really frustrate me. But you got a lot of really cool artwork, and the discs were really nice looking. And
yeah,
you know, I'm a collector, and I'm just like, I just want something that looks nice. And I'm like, I know you could just buy digital stuff, but there's something about
not the same.
having a physical thing that made it slightly better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a recent revelation where I'm like at home and I'm like, oh my gosh, my internet is terrible and I can't even stream music. And I was like, wait a minute, I have so many CDs. And then yeah, you totally like take a moment, you like flip through the artwork, you're like, oh my gosh, I remember this.
Yeah, it's like it's a full experience. It's like it's you know, like it's like getting like a book. You open it, you get like that smell. Then you like it's tactile. You touch it, you read what's in it. Then
or they even like they made it experiential as well, right? Like I pull out, I don't know, I had this like Tool Lazarus CD or whatever, and it was like 3D glasses and this 3D artwork that you like looked at. It was wild. And I was like, yeah, this is trippy as heck. Like it's amazing. No, Ariana Grande is doing this.
Exactly, you know. That's like oh my God, which Beck album is it? It's the album that has like Insomnia on it and like I Think I'm in Love. But like
Tropicana?
It's not Tropicana. That's a different album than that one. If I look it up, I probably can find it. But so this Beck album, what it was like it just said Beck on the bottom, but the CD came with like a booklet. It had like a bunch of stickers and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's all these like cool stickers. And of course, me being a person who collects things, I didn't actually use the stickers because that's crazy. I just kept it in there. But I remember finding the CD the other day and flipping through, and I'm just like, oh, I love those stickers. And I'm just like looking at all the stickers. The stickers are so cool. I don't know. But I always thought it was like such a great like thing. Like I love that like tactile like idea, you know. Oh, the album is called The Information.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the was I right? That's like I love you, I Think I'm in Love, Cell Phone is Dead. Yeah. It's such a good album. It's such
all
a
those albums. Honestly, I still listen to like Dear Life, like repeatedly. It's such a good album, especially during a pandemic.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about his music that just works for me, you know. I really enjoy like Colors, his 1 album ago. I really like the poppiness of that album, which came right after
so fun.
Morning Phase, I think. Because Morning Phase was all like atmospheric and you know, just kind of like puts you in like a space. Whereas like Colors makes you just want to like dance and have a good time and like love things.
And he has all like these really cool collabs with just all these artists too, which is really neat. Like
I haven't fully listened to Hyperspace simply because I haven't had access to it. I could just buy it digitally, but I'm like, no, I want the thing. I want the thing.
You want the disc?
Yeah. But the funny thing is, for years now, the first thing I did when I bought a new album was I digitized it. But also while you're digitizing it, you play the album. So you get to listen to the whole thing while that's happening. And I don't know, love it. Just love it. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm getting excited about Beck all of a sudden. It's fine.
No, it's amazing. That Colors album, I still love that album so much. I listen to it so much. I actually have a game that I've been playing. It's like songs that have different meaning post-pandemic than pre-pandemic. And so I've been accumulating a list, and some of my favorite songs are like, well, Beck's Dear Life fits that quotient really nicely. There's I can't remember how to say her name. She's a Canadian artist, something like Kezia, but it's called Hideaway.
Okay.
And it's a great song. Ariana Grande's Work From Home. It means very different things. Yep. Oh, and my favorite, the Four Non-Blondes, What's Up?
Well,
and that's the song that goes, what's going on?
Yes.
And I said, hey,
yeah.
Hey, yeah.
I'll say, hey, what's going on? Yeah.
Does that mean something so different now than it did then?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things that we should just like blare out of like balcony stuff. Just be like, we're just checking in, press play.
What's going on, guys? What's up?
People will know.
What's up?
People will know. It's fine. I'm down with it. I am down with it. Yeah, I think a lot of things has changed meaning now. Like when you think about it and you hear about it and you know, you're just like, everything has changed. We're all in different spaces. This is happening. Done. Yeah. It's crazy. Like one of the things I've been doing, since I haven't been home as much, I've been using Spotify a surprising amount, which I don't usually use, simply because I don't think they understand what I'm going for. And it's more one of those things where it's because I kind of have a eclectic taste in music, where they base things on genres, and I'm like, no, I don't like all the music in a genre. More often than not, I like one song and then I want to go do something else.
Right. Yeah.
And so I get very frustrated with any of those like algorithmic apps.
Oh yeah. I only listen to playlists that I make or albums that I want to listen to.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Speaking of which, another song that fits the previous criteria of songs that mean something different after the pandemic, Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity.
Oh my god, that is so true.
And Canned Heat, just for good measure.
Oh my god, can I tell you a story about Canned Heat?
Yes.
So Canned Heat was a song that was used in Napoleon Dynamite at his dance sequence. And I used to work with this guy who's lovely. He is a lovely child. He's not a child anymore. It's been a while. He's a wonderful person. He deserves every great thing that ever happens to him. He's a great, great person. But he seemed to be grown up slightly sheltered or something. Like I find one of the biggest things when people don't know something is there's like, oh, I wasn't born when that came out. And I'm like, that's not an excuse. That is not an excuse.
No.
You know, I wasn't born in the 70s, but give me I don't know, Dusty Springfield or something, and I know the music. It's fine.
Right. At just 17, I'm here.
Yeah, like it's fine. But like the music I listen to is just stuff I have listened to all the time. Like if you tell me, oh, it's not something I like, or oh no, I've never heard it before, fine. But if I'm like, oh, this song came in, oh, I wasn't born then, that's not an excuse. Anyway. But at one point in time, so we had found out that this guy, he didn't know a lot of pop culture things. So we ended like he worked with us and we had like a whole department of people, and anytime he was just like, I don't know what that is. And it was, and he always said it in a way that wasn't like you're stupid, whatever, I don't care. It was more of just like, I don't know what that is. Please tell me more. So we would. Like when one of the Chris's and Criss Cross died, we had to explain what Criss Cross was because he'd never heard of them. And I was like, So with Canned Heat, he thought that was just a song that was written for Napoleon Dynamite.
No,
and
come on.
We literally sat him down and we're like, you need to listen to some Jamiroquai.
Did you have to give him a whole lesson about funk and soul too while you were at it?
We did not. We didn't go that far. We were just like, we're just going to stick with the artist. So you have at least a background as to what this comes from, the era it comes from, why it was used in this, why it's popular, why people like it. And he loved it.
Yes.
We had to play like Canned Heat, Virtual Insanity,
right? Everything.
Yeah. Because I'm sorry, Jamiroquai's albums are kind of great.
They're beautiful, seamless.
They're so good. I'm trying to think of. Well, my favorite song is the one with the girl from outer space. Oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the song? What's it called? Cosmic Girl. Sorry. I don't know why I could remember the name of that song. It is an amazing song. It's literally a girl from outer space meeting him. He tries to give him the number, but she's like, you can't call me. I'm from across the galaxy. And they go into space together. It's a great song. So we played like a bunch of songs from him and he's just like, oh, this is so good. I'm like, yeah, you need to explore other things. But also,
and he's referencing so many things in his music too. It's not just like him. It's like an entire like generation of music before him that's like
that is
informed what he's doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's a bunch. It's like it's disco, it's funk, it's R&B. There's a little bit of like
Earth, Wind, and Fire
in there. You know, it's all of this stuff, and he does it really well. And the thing that it made me realize is that like people who grew up in the generation that has never not known the internet, like we did, like part of our life was like no internet, go to libraries,
right?
You listen and see whatever your parents put,
whatever was accessible to you. Yeah.
Whereas now, ever since the internet has been around, people are just like, I will see what I want to see.
Yeah.
And if I don't know what it is, I will never look for it or never see it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with him is just like, I'm glad he's a person who's willing to learn and get more stuff and get more information. Mm-hmm. But unless he's like told, look for this specific thing, he will never look for more stuff. And I think that's kind of a problem, but also kind of cool at the same time, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's my story. I don't know where I was going with it. You just said Canned Heat and it reminded me of it. It's fine. I'm over it.
I'm listening to the new Weezer album, by the way, which I highly recommend. It's called OK Human.
Okay.
Like directly referencing like
Radiohead, OK Computer.
Yeah, OK Computer. But it's perfect because the album itself is like very Beatlesy, like an Abbey Road Beatlesy, which is like my favorite Beatles album. And so when I was listening to this, because it has all this like really amazing orchestral orchestration that supports the music, and you're just like, my heart swoons for that shit. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, are they referencing the Beatles? And it took me like no short of like a quick Google search to find out, yes, in fact, they are referencing the Beatles, and they're like directly tying that to this album. And it's like, no wonder why it's like formulaically created for like people to associate the two types of music together. But I highly recommend it for that same reason, because it's like, even if you didn't know the Beatles, I would hope that a new listener who appreciated Weezer would like hear that in the album, be like, "Oh, I wonder what informs this music," and it would be so easy to access that immediately, like that background and that knowledge to be like, "Oh, in fact, this type of pop music and influence this type of pop music, and it's generations apart and very different, but similar."
Yeah, in the same way, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that goes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was a very fulfilling moment for me. I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so smart."
Yeah. Well, this is what one thing I love and hate about having information at my fingertips is that, like back in the day when you didn't have the information at your fingertips, you got to like sit and argue about things like that can't be true, that's not right, but what about this? Look at it this way, blah blah blah. You had like a good back and forth and a good conversation to be stuck in with like friends or just people in general. Whereas now you're just like, you're wrong. It's on my phone. And it's just like,
here it is.
You're like, I want to fight you. But what's great is if you're by yourself and you're like, this thing's bothering me, tip a tap, got info. It's not going to bother me for 12 days until I figure it out. which is surprisingly a thing that would happen to me, because if I did not remember Cosmic Girl, if I did not Google that just now, it would have bothered me for days.
But like how obsessed in the 90s was like space. It was a space obsession in music videos. Like every music video was a space, like from Biff Naked to like Janet Jackson to TLC. Everybody was in space. Everybody had a space suit. Like that was like a prominent theme of the 90s, for sure. Spice Girls were in space.
Spice Girls were definitely in space. I think that had to do with the whole coming of the new millennium and we're really gonna go into the future thing. Where like all like film and literature and media in general was just like, no, the future is after the year 2000. And then we're like, we're gonna be in the year 2000. But everything before that was like, in the year 2000, we're gonna be in space.
Yeah.
And space means future. So that's what we're gonna do. And I think that's what it was. And I think it was
prolific.
It was prolific. But I also think that goes back to how cyclical our culture in general is, because like before that, like the whole obsession with space was like in the late 70s, the late 60s and early 70s. And that was after people landed on the moon and you're like, everything's about space now. But also that whole space thing came in the 1920s and like 30s as well, when science fiction started becoming like a legitimate literary form,
Yeah.
And there's a couple of like sci-fi things in the 1800s and stuff, but it seems kind of ridiculous when you read it. And it's like science fiction of the 1800s is like is like Nemo and stuff, right? Where it's more like it's earthbound. It's like Journey to the Center of the Earth or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea,
or
like
the
it's
time
that
machine,
kind of thing.
or
the time machine, But it's all earthbound. Whereas I think when the like actual space voyages happened, it became like otherworldly science fiction, not worldly.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading a book right now by William Gibson that was written in like I think 2014. It's The Peripheral. But it kind of blows my mind that he was like writing books in an age that was like pre-internet and coming up with these like ideas and terminology before it even existed. And it's like, oh, like, can you imagine that man's like career? And I'm like, you are imagining these things before they existed and now they exist. It kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're just like, no, this is normal now. But that guy back then his friends must have been like, you're crazy. Like, this doesn't make any sense. That'll
like, you're out there, man. You're out there doing mescaline like those other crazy writers. Like,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that's what makes people like quote unquote geniuses or people that influence the world, is they have like a different view in general of things. They can legitimately think outside the box because they don't think a box exists, right?
Yeah.
And they're just out there, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I did want to make one reference of a book that was written in the 1800s. It's the book that oh god, I'm gonna get sorry. Give me one second.
Is it Jules Verne?
No, it's not Jules Verne. It's that stupid movie that takes place on Mars with the Confederate soldier and stuff. What's that guy's name again? Oh my god. Taylor Kitsch. Yeah, okay. So Taylor Kitsch was in this movie that kind of ruined his career, John Carter. Okay. Almost nobody saw this movie in 2012. Almost nobody saw this movie because it was advertised wrong. I am sorry, it was advertised wrong. And there are so many movies that have fallen because of that are perfectly fine films. And so John Carter is based on a book by Edgar Rice Burroughs called A Princess of Mars. And let's see, what year was that written? That was written in 1912. It was a serialized pulp thing. It was written in 1912. And this was like one of the earlier of another planet kind of sci-fi like book that was written. Because I mean, the book doesn't have space travel. Technically, it has like quote unquote teleporter in it that teleports this guy from Earth to Mars. So there's no space travel. It just seems like a desert to a desert kind of thing. But it's one of like the earlier like space travel literature
movies
things.
Or
Yeah. It was sort of like very like it was known, but it was kind of like put to the wayside kind of thing, like novels, like because it's pulp fiction. Like that was written, it was just pure pulp at the time. It was put out in like a series, I think.
Oh, okay.
And and they made John Carter of Mars from it. And then I'm sorry, it's a perfectly good sci-fi adventure movie, except for the fact that John Carter is a Confederate soldier.
Boo.
But he changes his ways, after meeting the people of Mars and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's great. I think it's one of those movies where I'm just like, they did you wrong, man. They did you wrong. This could have been a perfectly good blockbuster.
I don't know why people didn't respond to this. It was way better than that piece of trash Mila Kunis was in with the stripper guy. What was that movie?
Jupiter Ascending was so difficult.
Garbage.
It tried to be like 5 different movies in one, and it just wasn't working.
Infuriating. I remember the year that movie came out because movie time was of a premium in my life with a young child. I had coordinated babysitting to go see that movie in theaters, and it was a garbage. I was so upset. I was like, oh my god. And then the second time I got to go see the movie with a babysitter, it was Into the Woods, which was also a piece of trash.
Oh my god, Into the Woods. Oh my god.
What a garbage film that was.
I tried so hard to watch Into the Woods. I don't even know why I tried that hard.
Yeah, you don't even like musical theater.
I don't. But like everyone's
seen the play, and I was compassionate to the play, so like I was already like half roped in. Like I was in it, but it couldn't even convince me as and I was an ally.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, well, if you do a story that's compelling enough, even if the music is annoying, I can get over it. Like, I can do it, right? And
have you seen Cats yet?
I have.
Oh, you did?
I paid money and saw it in a
Oh
theater.
no, you did not. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my
Yes, I
gosh. I
did.
still haven't even seen Cats, and I'm super compassionate.
I did not see the butthole version. I'm going to tell you that right now. It was one of the ones in the theater, and I will admit this right now. There is nobody, including myself, who was sober while watching that movie. Literally, people were like, the theater was full. So they had it in like a smaller theater, but the theater was full. Me and my friends went. We expected there to be nobody else but us. When we showed up, it was like 7 of us. I like we were drinking, whatever. We went to the movies to see this, and we're just like, the only way we could do this is we cannot be sober. And we're like, okay. And so it was like 7 of us. We get there. There's nobody else but us. And like one person walks in, then like 2 people walk in. By the time the movie starts, the theater is full. There is exactly 1 person in there who is there to watch this movie, to watch the movie. Okay. The only reason why we know that is because he's the only person who yelled in the theater. He's like, "Can you guys be quiet?" And everybody looked at him like, "What?" and started laughing. Like the whole theater. The lights went down and all you heard was people opening cans of like beer and stuff. Like that's all you heard. And from the opening credits, the laughing and the whatever, and then the whole Idris Elba is purely naked thing. Oh my God. The hooting that happened. It's just like throughout the whole movie, like, what is happening? Who is that? What's happening? Why is this person in this movie? Oh my God. Yeah. I had never seen Cats on stage. I didn't know anything about the story. And I was just intrigued. I was like, oh, well, it's finally
what is it?
Cats. And I was like, oh, whatever. This is ridiculous. Sure. But, yeah.
Welcome to a theater school nightmare.
Yeah. I don't understand. How was that on Broadway for so many years and people loved it? And
I love in like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, they kind of reference that, like when Titus goes to a Cat's performance as dressed up, and then he makes up on the spot his performance, and they're like, yeah, that's how this thing is created. People just come and they make up their shit, and I totally believe that. I'm just like, yes, that is how this musical exists, because of these eccentric musical theater people. When they're not chronically singing the song from Rent, they're doing this one.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Cats basically begging for death to aliens.
Is that because I kept trying to figure out? I'm like, why is she going up in the balloon? What is it? Aliens? Is it
aliens? It's alien. I think it's aliens. I interpret it as aliens.
Okay, I was just like, honestly,
it's a science fiction film, or it now is a science fiction film, but it was a science fiction musical.
And it's dramatic and it's so deep. I swear. I'm sorry. The scene where what's her face like literally unzips her skin and throws it away.
You got further than I did. I didn't even watch the whole movie. I was just like, nope.
No, we were in the theater. We were watching the whole movie because
you did. I didn't.
And all my friends said when the movie was over, he's like, we need a drink. That's what they said. Because, oh my God. Like, no. It's
so bad.
So many things. Anyways, should we start talking about hackers?
Yeah, we can start talking.
I don't even know where to start with this movie because despite the fact that rewatching this, I remembered a lot of it. I forgot how inane this movie is. Like, I don't like it did that thing. It like, so when the internet and hacking became a thing, and they're like, we're gonna make movies about this and make it interesting. they didn't know how to represent the internet and hacking. And this movie is a perfect example of that, because hacking is not like images like zooming onto your screen and, you know, like, ooh, just wave into this. It's not.
Or the visualizations of it was like a city, but in like binary. It was like these weird representations of what it would visually look like.
Yeah. And you're just like, no.
What?
Thing has ever looked like that. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This isn't working in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
This movie like sticks in my mind. Like, so in the same year, I vividly remember winning tickets to and going to see The Net with Sandra Bullock.
Oh my God, The Net.
Which came out, the same year. And like, they came out months apart from each other. But it was like, again, like similar. And I think Johnny Mnemonic came out that year too, by the way.
I would not be surprised.
But I remember like these things like trying to represent the internet, and they were just so drastically different from one another, right? Like The Net was a very serious, like it was almost like a law, like a John Grisham style, like story of like a very serious situation, and internet stuff happened, and now we're in chaos. But this movie was like, it was very like pop cultural reference, and like I would say the more extreme like fashion choices of the time.
I don't know. Like, if you look at Johnny Mnemonic, there's some seriously questionable things.
But that's true. But that's more like sci-fi, and this was supposed to be like real life. Like, this was a high school. This wasn't like a dystopian future.
At the time, this was now. This is the shit that's going on.
Yeah.
And I must admit, one of my first notes is, oh, the fashion goes bad quickly.
Fashion, yes. The goggles, so many goggles.
So many and what is it with him and wearing crop tops like that? Like
so many crop tops.
Level crop top, and that one guy who was like, I'm giving fashion advice, and he really should not be giving fashion advice. Like, what are you even doing? Like, this is
everybody has nail polish on.
Yeah.
And it's not good nail polish.
No, it's all chipped and weird. And one kid's got leopard print everything for some reason.
And there's a lot of rollerblades.
A lot of
like so many rollerblading.
Oh my God, there's so much.
It's just like I don't think I know any I don't know any hackers, just straight up. But I don't imagine any hacker in real life being as active as any of these people were. Like, they move a lot.
Yeah.
They are rarely in front of their computers.
They really are rarely in front of their computers. Like, they do a lot of skating around the city, and I'm just like,
they skate more around the city than they are in front of their computer.
I'm like, you're not hacking right now, guys. What are you doing? What is going on?
We should have called this movie Skaters, because that's what this movie is.
You know, skaters who hack on the side or something.
Don't.
You know, that's, what is that? The shaders, the shackers? Like, what is that? I don't fucking know. It's okay. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna like what is that? Benifer that name together. It's not a thing. Apparently Benifer is a thing again. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh. People, they need to get over the 90s real bad, because it wasn't even good the first time around. Like, what does he have to offer in that relationship? Truly, like, can we not just accept that we are in awe of Jennifer Lopez point blank? Like, we don't care about the man in her life. Like, she's amazing all on her own. Like,
she is.
Are we that surprised that she attracts so much like energy or people climbing towards her? They're just glomming. Ben is glomming onto her coattails. I am 100% confident in saying that.
And she's bored right now. She's like, oh, okay.
She
That's
is
what's happening.
better than him. Who cares? He's not even exciting.
No. I think the problem is that she's better than too many people, but she wants someone, and I understand that. Like, I fully get it, but at the same time, you can do better, sweetie. You can do better.
Didn't she also have like a really awesome like mid-90s like internet movie? Or no, she went into dreams, wasn't it? But wasn't it like kind of
Yeah,
inception-y?
there's the Cell. Yeah, yeah,
The Cell.
yeah.
Yes.
That movie is dark and twisted. Like, if you rewatch it, you'd be like, oh my god. Oh
I thought it
yeah.
was, yeah, I remember it being cool, like visually, like
Oh, it's visually
really
stunning.
cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the reasons why it makes it so disturbing, is because it's so, like, the visuals are done so well.
Mhm.
I talked about it on the episode that I did about it, but
Ooh.
yeah, like, because she did that one, and I think she did like Money Train, and of course she did Selena, and she did
Monster-in-Law.
was Monster in Law in the 2000s or the 90s? I feel like it was in the
Oh, it's
2000s.
probably 2000s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her career is prolific, though.
Well, what about like yeah, Monster in Law was 2005. What about Made in Manhattan?
Oh, right.
Oh no, that was 2002.
That was for her rom-com journey
Yes. Yes.
after her experimental sci-fi flicks.
Yeah, but she did like a couple of like action stuff on the beginning. She did the
Yeah.
biopic, and then she did a bunch of rom-coms, and then what has she done? I can't even think of something.
World of Dance.
5 years.
World of Dance.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it counts. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, Giggly. She did Giggly.
Oh, ew.
Yes. Oh, that's right, Anaconda. We forgot about Anaconda.
Oh, right. Yes.
Good way. Forget about Anaconda.
That was a solid. That one was a solid.
I don't know if I've ever watched that whole movie.
Oh, really? I remember the most memorable clips of that movie were in the trailers.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, because I think I've watched like a bunch of like pieces of it, but she was in My Girl.
Wasn't she the mortician makeup person?
She was somebody named Myra.
Oh.
Because I remember it's Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, and who played Zeta? What is her name? She was in Veep. I don't remember what her real name is. I can just click on the link and find out. Okay, no, this is a different. It's called My Little Girl, not My Girl. I'm sorry. I am sorry. That was a mistake.
Whew.
Ew, apparently
I'm not losing my memory.
No. Apparently that has James Earl Jones and Mary Stuart Masterson in it. I don't know.
Something else entirely.
It's a young girl agrees to work in a center for girls who can't stay with their parents. She gets wrapped up in the plights of several of the girls and tries to help them, but only gets herself into trouble with her parents and supervisor.
Next week on the podcast.
Oh no, man. It's from 1986. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So before
James Earl Jones. Darth Vader's
Jones
in that.
He used to be a legitimate actor. I loved him in The Sandlot. It was 3 seconds, but he was wonderful. And I know I've seen some of his other work, but I cannot remember any of it besides Star Wars right now, and I feel horrible about it.
Lion King.
I love this scene where Blinkus Murphy dies, and like Lisa is at the radio station. He sees him in the clouds. He's like, everything the light that touches before is your kingdom. You know, Luke, I am your father. This is CNN. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. Anyways, why are we talking about Jennifer Lopez? We're supposed to be talking about hackers.
Hackers, because Jennifer Lopez hacked the cell and now she's Bennifer again. That's how we got there.
Boom. Anyways, but hackers, fashion goes wrong as soon as you see him in that weird turtleneck on the airplane.
So much mesh. So much mesh.
And a lot of straps. Like, there's a lot of, like, hanging straps on things.
Weird strappies. Neon.
Yeah, that's totally a thing.
And almost pseudo armor. Like, is that a body pad or is that just extra fabric?
Yes.
I don't know.
There's that one scene where what is it? Nikon is like DJing and like his whole upper body looks completely disproportionate to his lower body. And you're just like, what
are you wearing protective gear? Like, what's happening here?
What is up with that?
Are you gonna play football later? Like, what?
It's like when you got a DJ and take down, the Boston Panthers. I was trying to make a sports reference and I literally could not think of a team. Like, what is wrong with me?
We're not sports people. That's okay. We stayed at home and watched hackers.
Yes, we did. And we sat in dark rooms and pretended we were hackers by typing in our passwords to Hotmail. We're like, I'm in.
Typing in my live journal. This is hacking. Am I hacking? Am I hacking right now? I'm a hacker. I'm wearing a crop top.
Totally counts, man. Totally counts. I used to have those like super wide leg jeans or whatever.
Oh yes. I definitely had some mesh in my closet until recently. Maybe I still have some.
I for sure still have at least 2 mesh things in my closet. I would not be surprised.
There was definitely a latex bra that was heavy in the rotation for a while.
Okay. I just want to say this, not in like a weird way, but I remember that bra.
Yes, you did. What? Heavy in the rotation. It was hard to miss. It was especially through the mesh shirts.
Yeah. It was exposed, people. It was just there.
It was there. It was part of the zeitgeist. The PVC came out hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. It's just so funny, right? Even like the trench coats and like it's just so funny. Like it seems so cliche now, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm watching and I'm like, all of these people are trying so hard. They're trying so hard to be like this thing. And you're like, you're failing. Just letting you know. You're failing.
You're like,
whatever.
Yeah, you're trying to look like a cartoon in real life, but it looks bad. I could see your roots, Jonny.
Yeah. Like, get your bleach on if you're going to do it right.
Let's do this. If you're bleaching it, then bleach it.
Yeah. Just be done. Just be done. And also, I want to say there's a lot of continuity issues with their clothing. And I have a feeling it has to do with like re-editing and recutting the movie to make it flow in a certain way.
For sure.
And they were just like, fuck it. It doesn't matter if this isn't continuous. Just
they're wearing this now.
They're wearing this now. That's it. It happens so many times in the movie.
I know. I noticed that too. Even with like the side characters, like the ones who were wearing the boring suits, like the lady who was in on the scam, like she could have just been wearing a boring gray suit the whole time. But even she had weird continuity issues. And I'm like, come on.
It made no sense. You're like, in the last thing, you were wearing a maroon skirt suit with a jacket, but why isn't this scene you're wearing a black like gown? Like, what is happening here? How did these two things go together? Like, this makes no sense.
Was your costume department just high? Like, admit it.
But like, I find one of the most glaring ones was, so when he first goes to school, talking about like the bad padding, he's wearing like the pants and he's wearing like this like jacket with like all this padding on it with like his roller skates and stuff. Skates. Rollerblades. I'm sorry, guys. But then it's like the next day and he's wearing this like neon colored thing and he does the whole thing in the classroom with in the hallway with like the umbrella, and everybody comes out and it's raining, and they do like all the quotes and stuff. But after that scene, he is at the table with his mother, and his mother's like, "What did you learn in school today?" And he's like, "Revenge." But I'm like, he's wearing the clothes he was wearing from the first day, not that day. So either you put this in the wrong place by accident, or you rearranged thing and thought, yeah, the audience will never notice.
Yeah, right.
So it's stuff like that in the movie where it's just like you guys aren't even trying anymore. Like, what are you doing?
I definitely, I think I realized into that the part, Mark Anthony is just, he's at a rave at some point and he's just like dancing in this weird like 1970s outfit that we don't even see him in for the rest of the time. And I'm like, oh, clearly they don't give a fuck. Like, I was like, why would you otherwise just like focus so intensely on the scene with this weird, like, you don't think we're noticing this? Like, we notice.
The funny thing is like he doesn't even look young. Like he will, like, people will be like, hey, there's a narc here. Like, would be their first. As soon as he walked in,
who's that old guy at the party?
And he's just like, I put on the things the young people wear. No, you didn't.
No, but yeah, his Mark Anthony's outfit is distracting in that scene because it is so like disconnected. I could see where they were going with the 90s like polyester whatever, like they thought they could slip that in, but it was just such a weird choice and it was like glaringly off. I was like, this is different from everything, and you expect me to accept it?
Yeah.
I don't accept this.
You're like, this is okay? Are we allowing this? I don't think we should allow this. Can we not? Thank you. It's very, there's so many things that are visually distracting in this movie. Like when they go to like the bar or the club or whatever, and for some reason there's like a skate ramp
with the skate park. Yeah.
But there's also like payphones all over the place randomly, but it's on 2 levels, and there's neon lights, and there's like people with purple hair, but people with not with purple hair, and some people who look like they came from work, and other people who look like they came from a rave, and I'm just like, what is this scene? What are you?
Where is this place? I don't know a place where these people hang out together.
Yeah. But there's also like the whole, she's at the video game thing, and it's like a giant wall at the back, and she's just like in the middle of it.
Yes.
Like, what
game is this?
What is this? This makes no sense.
Is this Tetris? This doesn't look like Tetris. This is no game that I know, and I play games.
Yeah.
Even the game in Grosse Pointe Blank was more believable than the game in that movie. Remember the guy playing the
Yes. Yeah, that game made no sense.
No, it made no sense. I agree.
And the thing is, too, you got to he played the game for I think on screen, visually, it was 2 minutes. And he got 1 million points and beat her score. And I'm like, so she's always just played for 2 minutes and that's as far as she's gotten? Like that. That's kind of pathetic, guys. Maybe you should just let other people play. And the fact that nobody else has beat her is incredibly sad, guys. Incredibly sad. There's a lot of issues. And then there's the random guy she makes out with all the time who just disappears at some point, and you're just like,
I like that he has virtually no speaking lines too.
No, he doesn't. Well, when he asks what's up with that guy, he's like, that's what he does, and they're just making out on a motorcycle, and I was like,
yes,
okay,
just sure. Things women do.
Yeah, that's
super chill.
Super chill.
What we were doing in high school, right, Tracy?
Oh, totally. Yes. Very much so, because that's how cool I was.
Just you had these guys with a fake motocross outfit, just pretend padding, but no real padding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if they fall down, they're just, all of that's just going to disintegrate automatically.
In fact, they all died. They died. And
yeah, after that scene, it's all a dream. That's what it is. None of this actually happened. She got in an accident. She's in a coma. This is her mind shutting down. And at
And
the
then she
end,
meets Jennifer Lopez in the South. The end.
it's in the same world. Oh my god, it's so great.
Sandra Bullock's on the outside controlling them all in the bird box.
Well, yeah, the bird box that's part of the net. She's protecting it from the demolition man. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, predictable.
Yeah. I must admit, that's one movie I'm very disappointed I don't own is Demolition Man, because I could talk the shit out of that movie.
I do love that movie too. It is very satisfying. Like, yeah, it's funny. It's a funny like buddy cop movie. Like, yeah, it's a great movie. Three shells. I still don't know how the 3 shells work, but I'm curious.
Well, there's the one theory where you pick up 2 of the shell and it's like a clamp and it pulls out of your butt. And I was just like, I'm sharing this with you because I know this and it upsets me that I know this. So now you're upset about it. Thank you.
Well, at least you've answered some questions for me. It's been years.
Yeah, but those are 2 shells. What is the 3rd shell for?
It's the 3rd shell for?
Yeah. That can't be for wiping. That'd be aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Unpleasant.
Doesn't know how the 3 seashells work. Whatever. I'm going to Taco Bell. How did Taco Bell win the fast food wars? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I have my money on Chipotle right now.
Oh my god. Is it just that Mexican-ish food is delicious? Is that what I said? Ish because that's not authentic.
No. I mean, any combination of rice and a protein and some vegetables, that's a winning combo, right? A little bit of cheese, a little bit of beans. I'm always happy with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. You know what? Yes, you are right. Okay, you can go with this. For sure.
It's just satisfying on every level.
Yeah. But that also describes like a Panda Express and stuff. Look at it was in Chinese food.
Do they have beans? They have barely any veg.
No, if you get like a stir fry, it's
oh, that's true. Yeah.
And carrots and onions and bok choy and stuff in there. Yeah.
Then that's any half decent fast food then.
It's true. But this is why I question, how did Taco Bell win? It makes no sense. That's crazy. Stallone's reaction to Taco Bell is a proper reaction because you're like, what? It's crazy.
They have the cutest mascot. I mean, Ronald is terrifying.
Wait, what is Taco Bell's mascot? Are you talking about the dog?
The dog.
Didn't they get rid of it? But didn't they get rid of the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog?
But I haven't replaced it with anything else.
It's true. Just all their ads is just dong.
It's just an implication of the dog now.
Yeah. The idea that the dog had existed is enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, no, but did the dog exist at that point in time? Okay, sorry. Okay.
In a fictional fake universe? Yes, he always existed.
Okay, Demolition Man came out in 1993, okay?
But it was the future. It was the future.
Yeah. Taco Bell dog. Let's see. Taco Bell dog was an advertisement between 1997 and 2000. What? What? Oh, the Chihuahua died at age 15 in 2009. Oh, poor puppy. Okay, done. Oh, the dog's name was Gidget. It was a girl, but it was voiced by Carlos Alazraqui. I'm messing up his name. I know. I apologize. But yes, that's it.
Oh,
all we know.
R.I.P. Gidget.
Yes. Poor Gidget. Yes. But there's no animals in Hackers.
Oh, right.
Segue.
Hackers. Yes. Are there any? I feel like, I don't know. Is there a dog in there? I guess not. I guess the closest we get to a wild thing is when he sings in the shower about being a wild child.
God. That was
And that,
unnecessary.
wait. It's necessary because we could also segue to the soundtrack, which is amazing.
It is amazing, actually. It's a
The
pretty
soundtrack
great
is
soundtrack.
also really, I mean, a Grosse Pointe has like a really eclectic soundtrack, but this movie was like a very like cultivated kind of rave dance scene soundtrack.
Yeah.
But it was like, but it also had strange references like who sings that song? The Wild Child. It's like uh
Well,
he's
let's see.
like a old school rock star. I can't his
Mm-hmm.
tip of my tongue. But like yeah, it's like
Wild Child was, it just says written Johnny O'Keefe, Johnny Greenan, and Dave Owen. Who sings it? Well, I guess because they don't actually sing it in the movie.
Yeah.
It's Iggy Pop.
It's Iggy Pop. Yes.
What? Yes. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, I should have known that. That is.
I also knew that it was like right there, and then it was gone. But no, like, but it has like great like cool like classic rock influence, but then like really fun like techno influence. Like it was a great soundtrack. It was really, I think that really shaped the movie. So when they had like all those weird visualizations of like the web and the it really kind of carried it along.
Yeah, they've got like Orbital, they've got Prodigy, they've got Underworld, they've got Left Field, they've got the Stereo MC song. That's right, that's a great song. They've just got like everybody who was doing like dance, rock, techno at that point in time was in it. Like that sound was there.
So I think they were trying really hard to infuse like the fashion culture and the music culture of the same scene. I mean, to varying degrees of success, of course. Yes. But I don't know. I think they were trying to represent like the higher fashion ideals than like the realistic ones that were happening at the time that looked very different.
Oh, very different.
It was like much messier in real life, right? Like it was just like, it didn't look aesthetically like this was very like a curated collection, like in Hackers. Like it was almost too good to be true kind of thing. Like almost like a fabricated existence.
Yeah, because they were kind of dressed like raver kids, to be honest. But
it was almost like a cartoon. Like it wasn't even like real life. Like we didn't see anybody in real life dressing like this, even at that time.
No, not at that time. But like even like raver kids always had like this slight messy disheveledness to them because they spent their whole time with their hands up dancing, glow sticks.
They were strung out.
They were strung out. It was muddy places. Like all of their jeans were like the whole bottom was frayed. Like it's those things where these people, they were just like, no, head to toe, you're somebody did this.
It was a look.
Yeah. It was a look,
which he was a motorcycle guy. It was like perfectly like not a crease on him.
Yeah. Surprisingly, he was wearing a JVC shirt. I'm like, what VCR company is giving you a shirt to wear in this? But whatever, product placement, whatever you want to call it, it's fine. I found it all very interesting. Yeah. What else?
We were gonna quote our favorites.
Oh yeah, can you?
Well, we're gonna quote along.
Well, for me, it's what is it? Mess with the best, die like the rest, of course. And I know what your quote is. Go ahead, say it.
Hack the planet.
Oh no. Yours isn't hack the planet. Yours is the other one. The
pool on the roof must have a leak.
No, none of that accidental shit. That one.
Oh, none of that accident. I also like I put that thing in that place that time where I put that thing that time.
That's a great quote, actually.
That's a great one. I still use that one where I tell people where I put things. I put that thing in that place that time.
I love it. Yeah. I love the fact too that the movie's just like, oh, you can abuse payphones, because screw phone companies that are charging you too much money. But we live in a society that payphones don't exist really anymore, and it makes me sad. I want my free call overseas with my $5 of like recorded whatever. Like shit. I could have been getting free calls this whole time.
This whole time. What have you been paying like a sucker?
Such a fool, I tell you. Such a fool.
Oh, this is before the mobile era. Not a flip phone to be found in this movie.
And I love the like laptops they talk about that are so amazing. The computers that they're on. They're like, they've got like 10-inch screens. They've got like 16 colors. And you're just like, this is the greatest thing ever. I've plugged it into the modem. And let's talk about the bus. I was like,
28.8, man. BPS. that is shameful. That is, nobody would brag about that now. Nobody even knows what that is. They're talking about their 5G.
Yeah. I was legitimately watching the movie, and when they were saying all of the stats, I knew they were bad, but I didn't even I was just like, there's no point looking this up. I know this is bad. I know this is crap. I'm not. Half of what they're saying is nonsense. Like 3 out of 10 words made sense. I'm not even trying.
Are they going to sell Minnie to me next? It's the best musical wave.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh my god, look at these bitmap images. They're so amazing.
Oh my god, the 16-bit graphics.
Yeah, like shit. My god. There's like 250K memory on it. I was like,
what? Hang on a minute. I just gotta finish spray painting my keyboard in camo.
I mean, I understand if you're a good typist, you should know what all the buttons are, but at the same time, I was just like, you're fucking screwed, dude.
Really? Really? You're gonna regret that choice eventually.
You are. He's like, shit, is this the M? No, that's not the M. Is this the M? No, that's not the M.
Every time.
God. The worst. The worst. Like, I love the fact that the QWERTY keyboard is relatively like standardized, but at the same time, a lot of keyboards are laid out slightly differently.
Totally, yeah.
So like, sometimes your shift buttons are smaller than others, but they're in a row with this, and sometimes you have a keyboard on your left. Sometimes the number keys are only at the top, but then you have a control button, or sometimes you have a Windows button. Sometimes you have this button and that button, and it's before, but after, and it just depends. And painting over your keyboard just seems stupid.
Or like putting the icons, like the little like you don't even have emojis yet. Like, what are you putting the emojis on your keyboard for? It
makes no sense.
You're still like emoticon territory or whatever they're called. The necromonical, what are those called? You know what I'm talking about, like the semicolon. Yeah, emoticons. Yeah.
Emoticons. Yeah. It's like colon, open, close bracket. You got a smiley face. And if you don't know that, you're too young.
This is pre-emoji era hacking.
This is the evolution that we're talking about.
This is leet. We're still talking leet here.
Leet speak, man. Who uses an E when you can use a 3? What is wrong with you? What's wrong?
This is hackers. This is what hackers do.
Yeah. It's called leet speak. Okay.
This is what disruptors were before Silicon Valley.
Yes. Until you can draw pictures for me in ASCII, don't even start.
Don't even.
Shit. Oh, get it together. You don't know nothing.
Unless you're hiding your files on floppy, don't talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Did you ever have to type Win to get into Windows? No? You're too young. You're too young. Okay?
You bought a new computer and you were able to boot it to start without installing anything, then I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. You didn't have to put in your boot disk immediately?
Spend 3 days setting up that shit.
Yeah. You didn't have to figure out how to get your way through DOS to find your file? Too young.
Or play a game.
Do you know what WordPerfect is? Too young. Yeah. Craziness. This is all real things we're talking about, kids. Look it up.
Real things, real struggles.
So many struggles. I mean, I had a Hotmail address before they were bought by Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I still have my Hotmail address.
Oh, I have several Hotmail addresses, just not my original one because it got taken over by spam.
Ooh.
And so I had to get rid of it. So because of that, I don't use it anymore. I think it's gone or disappeared. But my first email address was coolhut@hotmail.com. Why? Because I was told to think of something and I was like, this is pretty cool, huh? And that was my email address. Done. But I don't have it anymore, sadly.
Aww. Yeah. I feel still so good. Like, when you like go buy something at a store and they're like, can we have your email and mail? And I just give them my Hotmail address, and to see the sinking look on the salesperson's face.
You're never getting anything out of me. You're welcome.
You're not checking this email, are you? I'm like, I do. I just don't reply to anything.
Yeah. My Hotmail address is definitely a dumping ground for sure. But like, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know why I'm drifting for a second.
That's because we're hackers, Tracy.
It's because we're hackers, man.
We're hardcore hackers. We're hacking the planet.
Yeah, hack the planet. Guess what? Anywhere I go, I can hack into Google and get access to my documents.
Whoa! Whoa!
I can't help it if I'm this elite. It's not my fault. I mean, I started.
If you had a hacker alias, Tracy, what would that alias be? Like, would you have a hacker name?
Oh my God, that is a good question.
Because they all have aliases in this movie.
Mm-hmm. We got Crash. What is it? Oh, I know there's Acid
Crash
Burn.
And Burn. Yeah, Acid Burn.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Crash and Burn. I was like, no, that's
the combination of the two. Yeah, they made a joke called Crash and Burn.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I have
There's serial killer.
There's Nikon. And what's the name of the other guy? The other guy's name is the one who gives really bad fashion advice. And I was like, you're not allowed to give fashion advice. That's not allowed. Oh, there's Freak.
All right.
Yeah, it's PHREAK. And then there's Fisher Stevens, who's the Plague.
Right.
There is,
or not. I like to call him not culturally appropriating in this movie.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I saw him and I was just like, oh yeah, he played the really stereotypical Indian guy in
Short Circuit.
And I actually had to look it up. I'm like, is that just like a false memory or is that real?
Nope, that's real. That's up there with Peter Sellers in The Party. It's bad.
It's so bad.
I loved Short Circuit too when I was a kid. I loved that movie.
Yeah.
But I loved it for the robot. Like, let's be clear.
The robot's great. Johnny Five is alive.
Johnny Five is alive in my heart. He's alive in my heart.
Always be alive. He will always be alive. Yeah, I love that movie. The second movie, he bumps into like a street gang, and it's Los Lobos. Los Lobos kick your ass. What is it? Los Lobos kick your ball. Los Lobos kick your face. Los Lobos kick your ass into outer space. Why is this something I still remember? I do not know. I easily have not watched that movie in 20 years. Easily. But that's the thing I remember. You're welcome.
It wasn't like one Penn and Teller, isn't the
Penn's like, in this movie. He's
Penn,
one of his,
yes.
He's one like of his like lackey
henchman.
Dude.
Yes. He's terrible.
He's so horrible.
He's like the one they have to like set up to like, oh, I'm gonna explain all the hacking stuff to you. Let me tell you about God as a security password.
So one thing I remember the whole thing about them being like the most used passwords and stuff. But they keep saying love, sex, secret, and God. But I was just like, oh, like love as in like somebody you love, or sex as in somebody you have sex with. Secret, like, you know, I have 4 toes or some shit. I don't fucking know. But according to this movie, no, people just put in love, Love, or sex, Sex, or secret, Secret, or God, God. And I'm just like, really?
Like, I would have guessed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before love or sex or secret.
Actually, that is very true. But also, I don't remember a time where you could have a password that's less than 8 characters long.
Yeah, or three letters. Or like never had a 3-lettered password before. Yeah. Maybe a 5-lettered password.
5-letter password. Definitely had 5-letter passwords. But yeah, I was just like, a 3-letter password makes no sense, because that would be that's just 6 combinations. Like, that's easy to figure out, dude. Like, what are you doing? Wait, is it 6?
It's like more than 6.
I thought it was 3 prime. No, or is it 26 times? It's 26 times 26 times 26. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm way off. So
math. We're
mathematical. Hackers. I know what I'm doing.
Hack the planet.
All the time. It's not like I did good at math in school or nothing. Okay, so technically that's 17,576 combinations. But that's really small compared to
it is.
Times. So 8 letters brings you up to that's a lot of combinations. That's a billion? I think that's a billion. 208,827,064,576 combinations. That's a very large difference.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, guys, I did that all in my head.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet. They're trashing our rights.
Trashing. Matthew Lillard. What a gem in this movie, honestly, though. He's so funny. Like, comedic genius in this movie. They totally set him up for like the Scooby-Doo franchise coming on. Yeah.
I think I remember him from like 4 movies. It's this movie, then it's Scream, then it's like, I think it's She's All That, and like Scooby-Doo. I think it's She's All That. It's one of those like teen rom-coms, and he plays like the asshole that everybody's trying to impress, but he's really not that impressive. I'm pretty sure it's that one. But he has 146 credits, and I remember him from 4 movies. That's kind of sad.
He's in the new show with like Retta and is it called Bad Girls or Good Girls or something like that? Anyway, he plays shoot. It was the redhead in Mad Men.
It's
She's
Good
like,
Girls, yeah.
Good Girls. He plays the spouse, and he's like a really inept spouse. Like he's like cheating and loses all the money and just a goof. It's same role, just like in the future. Hacker boy grew up, married well, got a car dealership,
and is just
married
messing
Christina
it up
Hendricks,
now.
Just fucking it up royally, like you expect him to, because he's that guy in Hackers. Like he's still the same guy.
Yeah, he's doing exactly the same things. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Without a Paddle. That for some reason that movie is.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 13 Ghosts. Okay, I remember him in that one. Yeah, She's All That. He's in as well. Yeah. Okay, I slightly remember him from slightly more movies now. But the thing is, the movies he's, except for like Scream, none of the movies he's in is like quote unquote legitimately good movies. Like you can actually say like the
passable.
Yeah.
Passable.
Like there's a lot of movies that like with like hackers and stuff, like it's nostalgia, it's kind of fun, it's kind of silly. You just get over it. You're just in there for the ride. Like there's a bunch of his movies that are like that. But calling it good is that is work to call it good. That's work to call it good. And I'm not talking down about Matthew Lillard or anything. What he has done, he has put together a fine collection of work. You know, his opus is in progress still. But yeah, this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. It's okay.
You're not a hater.
I am not a hater. Not at all. Not at all.
You would just say, great.
But he really is the perfect Shaggy, though. I must admit that.
No, he's great. He's great.
Oh my god! And then of course, you know, Jonny Lee Miller, who's had a very interesting career. But
and this is pre-marriage to Angelina, right? This movie.
Isn't this movie how they met?
Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, something like that.
So. Let's see if there's.
I was watching. I think he does Pride and Prejudice. So when I first saw this movie, Hackers, I remember I'm like a huge Austen fan, and I remember Pride and Prejudice coming out just before this, and he's like a very like. I can't remember who he plays in Pride and Prejudice. I think he's like, I don't know if he's like the main guy or not, but he's just like a very proper dude, and he's just so different. And so like this was delightful. Like he's American. He's much more relaxed. He's not like the uptight snooty snoot in the Regency era.
It was Pride and Prejudice?
Was it? I saw an Austen movie that he was in that he did prior to this.
Okay, so it's not Pride and Prejudice.
Or no, was it Northanger Abbey or
well, I don't know, hold on. What is just before Hackers? So he did EastEnders.
No, that's something else.
It's a TV show, right?
That's a TV show.
Mansfield Park?
Oh, Mansfield Park. That's what he's in.
That is after Hackers.
Is it really?
It is after. It came out in 1999.
Oh, I don't know. I guess, well, yeah, I'm more of an Austen fan than I'm willing to admit that, because it's just such a greater memory for me.
Yeah. Than Hackers?
Yeah.
Hackers and Train Spotting, and then Elementary. He was Elementary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the things I remember him from.
Yeah, he plays like, in Mansfield Park, he's like, he's the religious guy that is like, he's aspiring to be a priest, and he's like not the firstborn, so he's not going to inherit this giant property. And anyways, he ends up being the love interest of the main character. But it's just like, it's so different, right? Like, it's so like in the same one, I think Hugh Bonneville is also in it, and he plays like this real foppish dude. It's just delightful. I recommend it.
His name was Edmund Bertram.
Yes, Edmund.
Yes.
Aspiring priest.
Hugh Bonneville was Mr. Rushworth.
Yes, and Hugh Bonneville is so funny. He's got like this full head of hair that is just like ridiculously perched. Like, he's got these bangs that you're like completely distracted by the entire time.
And like, you're not supposed to have bangs. What's with these bangs?
Like, what is with this volume on the front of your head? The balding area. That is weird, dude.
Hugh, like, cover it.
Anyways, I guess like the time frame kind of like merges together in my head, because like I have such huge memories of the Austin thing, and like I don't know, I can really picture him in that role. It's just like, yeah, you're a trained classical actor, like this is what you do, you're British, of course you're in this like thing.
Well, I think that happens with a lot of people, like a lot of actors and stuff. Like there's the movie that makes you recognize a person, and that's the thing. No matter where their career comes from,
yeah.
No, this came before everything else because this is where I remember them from.
This is the memory. Yeah.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. And so then, like, when you hear like, oh no, he did like 85 things before that, you're just like, no,
what? No, he didn't. He didn't have a career before that.
He didn't exist before that. I mean, you think about people like this, the cast of Seinfeld, for example. They did lots of stuff before Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But nobody remembers that.
Kramer was in the Weird Al movie.
He was in the Weird Al movie. That's right, in UHF. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, I love that movie.
And Elaine was in the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation movie.
Oh, yes.
She was in a couple of things where she did like these small parts, but she was also on SNL, which I didn't know for a long time.
Yeah, she was the weird neighbor in that movie. I totally remember that. With the light.
Exactly. And George was in a bunch of things, and Jerry did like stand up for a long time, like. So they had like full careers before they got there, but you're like, no. Seinfeld was the first thing any of them did. You're like, no.
Actually.
Like Jerry Stiller, rest in peace. Like he was in all of the things before that,
Yeah.
But, like personally, I don't remember seeing any of them in anything before Seinfeld. So when I think about it, I'm like, no, that's where their career started, and then they were in all of these things. It's crazy.
Kelsey Grammer started his career in Cheers, and it ended in Cheers. Like, no,
that's it. That's all he did with his life. It's over. What do you mean there was a show called Frasier?
What? Is back on again? What?
Yeah.
Also, Cheers, right?
Star Trek Connection. He was in an episode of Star Trek.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh, so was the ex-wife. What's her name? She was also in an episode of Star Trek. Now that I think about it, I didn't look up to see if anybody in any of these movies was in Star Trek. And you know what? The last 2 episodes that I've done, I haven't found like a visual connection. Like usually how it works is like I see a person, like that person was in Star Trek. Like,
yeah,
that's
for
usually
sure.
what happens. But the last 2 episodes, I have not been able to do that. And now that I think about it, I have watched these 2 movies and nothing like that popped into my head.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody either in these 2 ones that.
This
I've
kind
done
of
Star Trek
upsets
stuff.
me.
If it was Kim Cattrall instead of Minnie Driver, then I'd say yes.
Yeah, and it would have been fine. Well, it's definitely not Johnny Lee Miller, I'll tell you that.
We know he's done he's the Austin territory.
Yes, he's a thespian, you know what I
He's a
mean?
thespian.
Mm-hmm.
He's Hugh Bonneville.
Okay, we're gonna go to a slightly serious topic now. As I was searching to see who was in Star Trek or not, the mother is Canadian. She's from Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a good Canadian.
Johnny Lee Miller's mother?
Yeah. Her name is
Oh.
Alberta Watson. She was born in Toronto, but she also died in 2015. So that makes me sad. So that is my serious topic. She was in La Femme Nikita, the TV show, which I watched quite a bit of, but it also doesn't ring that big of a bell.
Well, yeah, was she the boss? Was she the boss lady in that show?
What does it say?
I have vague memories. I love that show, La Femme Nikita. And I don't know if you remember the guy who was like the person in the shop who would always like outfit Nikita with the equipment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he lives in my neighborhood, and I sometimes see him walking his dog around, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's a celebrity.
You should totally get his autograph. It might make his day. Okay.
I'm too shy to ask, but I am thrilled every time I see him.
On La Femme Nikita, her name was Madeline. I don't know who that was.
I think that was the boss. She was the boss lady. Boss? Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, whatever happened to Pedo Wilson?
I don't know.
Now that I look at it, like her like youngness in La Femme Nikita reminds me a lot of Gwendolyn. Oh my God, the girl who was in Game of Thrones and Star Wars and stuff. She's like this like large goddess woman.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, Gwendolyn Christie.
Okay.
You would have seen her in other things. Like she was in the Hunger Games. She does, well, I guess in Star Wars doesn't count because she just does the like Phasma, but you don't see her face or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I
like
know who you're talking about.
The shiny one. Yeah. She was in Welcome to Marwen. Oh yeah, she was in Fabric, which I watched not too long ago, and I actually really enjoyed that movie. It's very slow. It's very strange. It's very uncomfortable, but it's great.
It's a new movie?
It's from 2018. I'm gonna describe it, and you're gonna be like, "What?" But it's about this dress that sort of destroys people's lives. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but it like at first I was just like, this is kind of dumb, but how they do it in the film just works really, really well.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's pretty good. And yeah, I don't know anything else you would have seen her in based on the list that's here. But anyways, yes, but I enjoy her. She is fun. She's a great personality. That's where was I going with this? I wasn't going.
Hack the planet. No.
Hack the planet. What else?
Wait, what's your hacker name? Tell me your hacker name.
Oh, I haven't figured that out yet. Can I be like? Can I be instead of 0 cool? Can I be like, 34 cool or something?
Yeah, that's cool. Just
pick a random number.
You could do that.
Or like 59 hot instead.
Or what about like your current online moniker? Isn't that like movie inspired as it is?
Off my shelf or my other one?
Your other one.
We're not talking about that one. I don't want random spam in my other stuff. We're good. But it's actually Simpsons inspired, not movie inspired.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Simpsons inspired. I will even tell people it's Marge. What is it? It's the gambling one with the casino. It's from that episode.
Okay.
Yes. So I remember it very specifically.
I think I've only come into my hacker name recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of by fortuitous accident, which is a combination of my karaoke name meets Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always more than one Sarah at karaoke, so I have to go by Sarah B.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's Sarah BB8.
That makes
By
sense.
natural extension. Yes, I think that would have to be my hacker name. Because there's so many like Sarah is almost anonymous. There's so many Sarahs.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I think of a hacker name, I never think of, or like a user, I never think of wanting to use my name in it. Like I think it needs to be like a thing, you know.
Zero cool.
Yeah. Or like Muppet Trash Can, or you know, fuchsia nail polish or something. Like it just needs to be like a thing, not like a name, you know.
We're in like post hack, so that would have been like your 20th century hacker name, but this is your 21st century hacker name where you can actualize your authentic self.
Nobody wants that. Well, because if you're a hacker, you don't want to be tracked down by the cops by using your name.
I mean, it's all on Bitcoin anyways. That's not traceable.
Ooh, can I be trans warp awesome?
Sure. Yes.
Done.
Approved.
Done. Okay. I just came up with it, guys. That's my hacker name. Trans warp awesome. Done. Love it.
Trademarked.
Yes. Of course it had to be a Star Trek reference. What am I talking about? Like, why would I never think of this first?
It's taken us like 20 plus years to actualize our hacker names after seeing this movie. Like this isn't an immediate process, people. You have to live a life before you earn your hacker name.
Yeah. Well, throughout the whole movie, that one kid is trying to come up with his name, and he's like, I'm nothing if I don't have a name.
Yeah.
And it's just like tearing him apart. And it's true. Like, now that I have a name, I'm just like, I can be a whole person now, guys. I can
live my actualized online self.
Yes. You know, I'm gonna hover my fingers over a keyboard and pretend I'm typing really fast, and you know, I'll have like a video of things zooming at my face, or
you're gonna write HTML in like way better ways than they did in this movie, because nobody writes in HTML anymore.
I'm gonna Google how to look cool on the internet and then copy and paste whatever code it gives me and paste it somewhere. I have hacked the internet, guys.
This is going on a way better place than my GeoCities page.
Oh my god, my GeoCities, I still like the image of my GeoCities page is in my brain, because I remember trying to choose a background and I had this like purple puzzle piece thing all over the back. And now that I think about it, like visually, that would have been horrendous, because it was that with bright white writing on it. Oh my god.
This is the early days of the internet. Yes. Crop tops and mesh were the fashion.
Yeah.
Who was discerning, you know, who was analyzing web design at that time? Nobody. It was a mess. Nobody. It was a mess. What the internet looked like back then was garbage.
Yeah. And remember when they finally figured out how to have like, they weren't even GIFs at the time, but they had like the moving repeated images.
Yes. Yeah.
And you just like drop them around. You're like, oh, this one's cool. Put it in the corner.
Yes.
Why is this there?
What were we doing? What were we doing?
I don't know. We hadn't built our aesthetic as yet. We hadn't built a style. You know, style sheets weren't invented as yet.
No, cascading style sheets weren't a thing.
Yeah, you know, like doing a table used to be a bitch.
Yes.
Even they within HTML now you can do nice tables and stuff. Like it's
yeah, totally. It's
it
totally
was
different.
totally
Hero
different.
images, they've saved our lives.
Automatic
Unsung hero images,
images.
more like it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So those were the days, man. But you think about it, like I was watching and I was just like, this was only like 10 years ago. Oh my God. I was just like, oh, it's 25, Tracy. It's 25. Get your shit together. It's true. Like I still think of the 90s as like 10 years ago. Like it's still the first
no.
The aughts, as they like to call it.
Yeah.
But no, that was a long time ago. And it hurts my heart a lot when I think about it.
The dial-up, the modems.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're like, we need a phone line to get on the internet. I'm like, you do?
What? You can't use the line for something else while you're doing this too?
Yeah. Oh my God. Like I remember having to like download stuff and then like my mom would just like pick up the phone. I'm like, no, after like 6 hours and it's almost done.
Yeah.
Craziness. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, that was a different time, guys. You don't understand how good you have it. Like something takes a second to load and you're like, why is this so slow? Please. Okay. Also, that's the other unrealistic thing about this movie is that anytime they got on a computer and they turned it on, it was on. And I was just like,
oh yeah, no loading. No, even when I turn on my Xbox and I set up like Fortnite to play or whatever, I also have Spotify running in the background. It takes an entire song before Fortnite even loads. That's 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. No, it does not work that way, guys.
And like these computers were much slower.
Much slower. Oh my God. With their tiny screens and stuff. Holy shit. That screen was tiny. Like they're hovering around the laptop and you're just like, are you guys seeing anything? It's like
no one but if you saw anything on a slight angle at those computers, you didn't see shit.
Not at all. Not at all. Oh my God. They did not perfect the screen technology, you know. It was the same shit on like a Game Boy. If the lighting was wrong and you were holding it at the wrong angle, you were screwed. You're going to fall into the pit. Like that's just how it worked. It's the same thing with the computer screen. Like, it's crazy. I think about like I'm watching the movie and thinking about I'm like the things that they're doing in this movie are normal. Or they used to be normal. And I can't believe I used to put up with that shit. Like, oh my God. If I was transported back to 1995 and be like, hey, here's your internet.
We'd all be angry.
Here's your dial-up and your...
Just like, tears.
Oh my God. 20 minutes to turn on. 10 minutes for the dial-up to connect. I'm waiting for my fax to come through. What? Holy shit. Like, it'd be crazy.
I know.
That was my other thing. Every time they went online, there was no dial-up sound.
They didn't have like any. Well, they were too busy like whooshing in over the visuals playing like the techno.
Yeah. That was much more. They're like, we're gonna drown out the dialing in with this. Okay.
Beep beep beep.
We're gonna drop some Prodigy on you. You're gonna get over this. It's gonna be fine.
You're completely distracted by the smack my bitch up right now.
Oh my God.
That's what it was like in the 90s.
That's what it was like.
We didn't care about Wi-Fi, but we cared about Prodigy.
Yeah. You know, checking out a fire starter, smacking bitches up. It's all of that stuff. We're just with it.
It's virtual insanity.
That's what this movie should be called. Let's rename it. This movie is called Virtual. Because none of this is working. None of this is working. It's fine. Also, one of my last notes for this movie was, when they're on their dates and the lights in the buildings are saying crash and burn on it.
Oh, yes.
And all I could think is, what did I write? People working in those buildings late are freaking out. Okay. Like, you think of like the cleaning staff and like the guards and whatever to make that work. These are like full floors of lighting going on and off in those buildings. And imagine you're just like sweeping along and everything just starts going on and off and going crazy. And you're just like, for sure.
Also, like, what a weird, like, bet that, like, the end of the bet is like she has to go on a date with him. Like, I'm not so cool with that coercive technique. Like,
exactly.
I was just like, I would hope that she would be still like, no, fuck you. Like, I'm a feminist.
Well, the reason something that has to happen in a movie is because she's a girl and she has to be submissive to a man. And this is how you do that without being like Neil, It's like, no, I'm gonna win and we're gonna go on a date and you're gonna love me. And of course that's what happens, because why? I just don't know.
Wait, did this movie pass the Bechdel test? Was there two ladies that had a conversation? I don't think that there was. No.
I don't think she talked to another, because even like the scene with the teacher and she's talking about like the quote on the board or whatever.
If it's about love and it's about man, yeah.
Yeah, and even at like the party and stuff, she's just making out with dudes. The other hackers are dudes. They're just,
even like the female boss doesn't ever talk to another lady.
No, she
the mom doesn't talk to anybody aside from the son.
Or no, yeah. There's the one point in time she opens the door and she's like, "Oh, I see what the fuss is about."
Oh,
no, the mother. Yeah.
I guess that makes it pass.
But I don't think that passes the Bechdel test, because what she says to her is in reference to a man, so that doesn't count either.
No, it doesn't count.
So no.
Well, Grosse Pointe Blank won that test.
Boom, done, winner.
So yeah, like it was just like the movie is just, I don't know, it's aesthetics, right? Like it's aesthetics, it's nostalgia, it's cool music more so than fashion.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say, to fully describe the aesthetic of this movie is when the plague is coming to get the disc from Dade.
He's skateboarding.
He's skateboarding, but he's holding on to a limo beside him to speed up, and then he just like lets go, gets it from him, and then goes back into the goes back to holding on to the limo. And I was just like,
really?
Wait, did you go all the way from home like this, or were you like around the corner, told the limo to stop so you can get out, got on your skateboard, then drove up, and then you got back around the corners and got back in? Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the logistics of doing this. Like, that whole thing was they could have just had a limo pull up, roll down window, take the disc, go away. But no, he had to be on a skateboard outside of it,
grabbing it.
Yeah. It made no sense. Okay. So that's the pure aesthetic of that movie. As Dade stands outside in his overly padded top and his very tight jeans and a crop top underneath. So
proportionally isolating outfit.
Yes.
It's not accentuating his features whatsoever.
Nope. Yeah.
It's wrong cut of everything.
Yeah. So that scene in the movie tells you everything you need to know about the movie. That's it. All right, that's my last note. Okay.
I mean, it's highly enjoyable. I don't know. Yeah. It has a place in my heart. It does.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I thoroughly enjoyed watching both of these movies for very different reasons, each of them. Grosse Pointe Blank was very nostalgic, and it was just very fun with it's quippy conversation and quirky characters and good music. Great.
Yeah.
Hackers was just like, what the hell is going on? What the shit? What is that guy wearing? That computer
What is that?
What is the point of this scene? Yeah.
But what is this representing? This is just made up.
But it's still enjoyable because of all
it's funny. That. Yeah, it's funny. It's virtual insanity. It's funny.
I swear, if I ever get Jamiroquai to come on this podcast, it'll be the greatest thing ever.
He got a lot of love in this episode. You could take him.
He did. He really, really did. He deserves it.
He's understated, man. He is like, he's incredible. He awesome. References so much music in his music that it's like, it's so cool to see. It's like, oh, that's an entire generation of music that informed you and you're representing it. That's cool.
And also it just generally sounds good even if you don't know the history of the music.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I actually think he's a pretty good lyricist. Like, just like, it's not even just like some of his songs are stories, yes, but a lot of it is just like he's got like some witty construction of lyrics and like how he puts it together and stuff too. I mean, there's songs like Supersonic where it's literally supersonic for like 4 minutes with like a 3 lines, fine, but it's a great danceable beat. It's awesome. But then you have songs like Cosmic Girl, which is just like pure magic. Beat, lyrics, just like the whole bit is gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for coming back and having this convo with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always fun to get you on these like nostalgia-filled episodes, which just makes them great.
It was super fun.
Yay! Well, that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. Until next time, you can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at ohmyshelf, or you can send an email to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. On the next episode, we're doing another Twitch takeover. Erika will be back, allowing me to take over her channel to talk about a perfect combination of films, Half-Baked and Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. We are doing the recording on May 27th at 6:30 p.m. EST. Follow Erika on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at Erika in Glasses. Join us as we chat about the movies, answer questions, and interact with viewers. Hope you'll be here to listen.